For Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
What a great day to be alive on. What a beautiful day it is in the cold weather. It's another great day to be alive here on Kyle Brust. What is it?
It's just simply, it's a great day to be alive.
Oh, it's
very simple.
It's a great day to be alive here on Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, and streaming live on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison on YouTube. It is Kyle Brust and Nortman. I am Kyle Wallace, and with me, of course, as always, is Bradley Nortman.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Kyle, how you doing? Lots of news to react to. We're starting to see a little bit of what this 2026 Green Bay Packer team, at least from a coaching standpoint, is going to look like.
Yeah, Brad, you asked me how I'm doing, and now I know how it feels to lose and be second place Kyle.
Oh, wow.
Just like you, my cousin is now second place Jordan, as his team has also lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game that was very winnable.
Yeah, it's too bad, Kyle, that you are the common denominator in all of these heartbreaks.
You know what's crazy?
All the Wisconsin heartbreaks, my career, Ben's career, Green Bay Packers, Brewers, Bucks, and now your cousin for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, what's crazy is last year my good buddy Nick Bellore, who plays for the Washington Commanders, he lost. He also lost in the NFC Championship game. So I'm just surrounded by a bunch of people that don't. Well, you went to a Super Bowl and lost, but
are you willing to start? If it makes you feel any better, Devontae Adams has lost in the championship game five times.
That was hard to watch, that post-game interview. That was real sadness.
5 times. It's like the Buffalo Bills.
That is. That's bad.
Really, really bad.
Such a great receiver. Never taste that Super Bowl experience.
And he's getting old, and he knows that his chances are drying up. The voice you just heard is Alex Strofe. How you doing today, Alex?
Ben's not here. I'm great.
Oh, that is great. Ben Brust is not here. He's out somewhere gallivanting, doing what Lord knows what with who. More than likely his wife.
Yeah, I'm sure.
More than likely.
It is indeed his wife. He's on vacation, yes.
Oh, did he tell you to tell people that?
Well, he's on vacation. That's not telling anybody anything. He's not going to be here until Thursday.
Fairly tight-lipped about where you are when you're not
I didn't disclose the address in which he's staying at.
Well, he's staying at home.
I just said he's on vacation.
Yeah, don't tell people my business.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before.
That's for me and only me. But this is Kyle Brust and Nortman, and as alluded to by Bradley Nortman, big news, everybody. The Green Bay Packers didn't hire Jimmy Leonard. That's what happened this weekend as the news came down on Sunday morning that the Green Bay Packers have hired Jonathan Gannon, the former head coach of the Arizona Cardinals and former defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, as their guy. 800-990-3776. That is the ESPN Wisconsin talking text line, the Carbless talking text line, where less is more, and we want to hear from you. Are you upset that the Packers did not hire Jimmy Leonard? That is what I want to know from KBN Nation. Bradley, how do you feel about this hire of Jonathan Gannon over Jimmy Leonard?
Yeah, it's a mistake. They should have waited. Matt LaFleur just jumped the gun. Now, I'm not going to say that Jonathan Gannon is a mistake hire. I actually think he's a pretty good hire. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Good, not great. But I think it was a mistake not to wait for Jim Leonard. Obviously, he is the passing game coordinator for the Denver Broncos right now, so the Packers have to wait another 2 weeks before they have a crack at officially interviewing Jim Leonard or actually extending him the job. Hiring, because he did interview, correct?
Well, he could have interviewed as of today.
Okay.
Even if they would have won.
True. I think it was a mistake not to pursue Jim Leonard in such a way that they pursued Gannon. Here's why. When it comes to a great coordinator, you got juice, you got scheme, you've got respect, you've got all the things that players look for when they have a coach that they want to play for. I think Jimmy Leonard, he checks all those boxes. He was a player, so he can see the game through the player's eyes. Every single place that he has gone, he has had success, not only as a player, right? And he's obviously 5'10". He's sort of the prototypical Wisconsin walk-on. So he had to earn everything, not only be a student of the game, but maximize completely his a physical prowess. But so as a player, he was great. He can see the game through a player's eyes. But anywhere he's coached, he has had success. Obviously, great time at Wisconsin, and then a minute at Illinois. But the Denver Broncos, their secondary, their defense has been excellent the last 2 years that he has been there. I wish some of that defensive secondary play from the Denver Broncos would rub off on the Green Bay Packers. I think when Jim Leonhard walks into the room, there's immediate respect. He brings the elite schemes, and he has a level of juice that guys love to play for. There's intensity, there's success, there is just good things happening in every defense he's a part of, and I wanted the Packers to be able to wait on that. Matt LaFleur literally said, we had to hire Jonathan Gannon because we couldn't wait any longer. Not that he rushed it necessarily, but I would rather say if you were going to get into a long-term relationship, you should take your time before you jump in. And Matt LaFleur could wait no longer. He felt like he had to jump the gun and hire Jonathan Gannon before Jim Leonhard was ready. So I was rooting for Jimmy Leonhard. I think he'd be the perfect fit. And they wanted him 4 years ago. The only reason why Jimmy Leonhard didn't come then is because he thought he had the future of the Wisconsin Badgers head coaching job locked up. So I felt like this was the time. It was going to be an excellent situation, but instead, Matt LaFleur went a different route. I just think he rushed it.
You think he rushed it. I think I don't agree. I don't agree whatsoever. Listen, this is one thing you got to learn. When somebody don't love you, then you can't go in that direction. The Green Bay Packers love Jimmy Leonhard, and he just did not love them back. And why I say that is this. I believe strongly, had Jim Leonhard and behind closed doors and whatever connections you got to do so it's not tampering, if somehow word was going to be able to get to the Green Bay Packers that Jimmy Leonhard, had he been interviewed, the Green Bay Packers were number one on his list, and that he would have taken that job. If this was his dream job, like it's a lot of folks out here in KBN Nation, like it's a lot of folks out here in Wisconsin, if it was the dream job for Leonhard to come to Green Bay to be the DC, he would have the opportunity to be the DC. But clearly to me, based off the fact that reports came out that the Packers, there was mutual interest between Packers and Leonhard, and they wanted to interview him. But it was just mutual interest. The Packers couldn't risk losing a great guy for a guy that they did not know if they were going to get. Because if things came out that Gannon was their number one guy, but they just wanted to wait on Jimmy Leonhard just to talk to him, and then Jim Leonhard says, nope, I'm staying here in Denver, or I'm going somewhere else, and then the Packers find themselves in what situation? The same situation they were in a couple years ago where we ended up with Joe Barry. So for everybody who's mad, who's poo-pooing, who's complaining about the Green Bay Packers hiring a defensive coordinator that coached in a Super Bowl, a defensive coordinator that team had 70 sacks in a season. You're crazy. Shut up. Because at the end of the day, the Packers still got a good guy. Do I love Jim Leonhard? Heck yeah, I do. Would I have been happy to have Jim Leonhard come back home and coach the Green Bay Packers defense? Yes. But at the end of the day, Jim Leonhard did not love us back. And at the end of the day, we still ended up with a great defensive coordinator. The only reason y'all love Jim Leonhard is because he played at Wisconsin. He's from here. If Jim Leonhard coached at Maryland, was a great defensive coordinator, y'all wouldn't be clamoring for Jim Leonhard. Y'all wouldn't be saying, oh, this is so dumb. We're so mad at Matt LaFleur. We're going to suck. Like, calm down. You got a good coach in Jonathan Gannon. We should be happy that our head coach went from hiring Joe Barry to interviewing Al Harris, who I think will be a great defensive coordinator one day, to Jimmy Leonhard having mutual interest in getting a guy like Jonathan Gannon, who was respected around the NFL and a hot commodity, to be hired as a defensive coordinator, and it turns out that he wanted to come to Green Bay.
I think when it comes to Matt LaFleur in this hire, you don't take it quickly. You go slow. The fact that he felt like he had to fill this job or else risk losing Gannon, it just felt like it was a quick decision. I think Gannon's going to be a fine defensive coordinator. I don't think he's going to be elite. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But when it comes to Jim Leonhard, his track record, all the boxes checked, I think he would be absolutely perfect for the Green Bay Packers. And Matt LaFleur should have listened to his gut from 5 years ago when he offered Jim Leonhard the job, and Jim Leonhard turned it down because he thought he was going to be the head coach at Wisconsin. We're all lucky enough that you're engaged to baby girl. Strope's got a long-term girlfriend. Of course, I love Lexi for a long time. We never had been in the situation.
I love Lexi.
Where we pursued our heart's desire and got turned down. If you have the opportunity to go back to that girl after seeing the errors of your ways, that feeling in your heart is still strong. Your heart still beats when you see Jim Leonard. Matt LaFleur, I'm sure, feels that way. It was because he didn't want to have he didn't want to go stag to the prom. That's what Matt LaFleur wanted to do. He asked somebody he didn't love because he didn't want to go stag to the prom. And to me, you got to wait for true love, Kyle.
Yeah, if a woman ever turned me down, she ain't getting a second chance. Ain't no way in the world.
For a great reason.
We not
like head coach of the Wisconsin
a great reason to be with some other rich man? Hell no. No, not me. Now, in this case, again, I just want to emphasize the fact that I was intrigued by Jimmy Leonard. I wouldn't have been upset with Jimmy Leonard. But what we have to understand, KBN Nation, is the fact that Jonathan Gannon is a good hire. Put away your emotionals. Hey, this is coming from an emotional guy. Listen, I understand. I'm emotional. I could be a roller coaster, okay? That's it. Don't you hit that button, Stroke. And coming from one emotional Packer fan to another, let Jimmy Leonard go. Let him go. And listen, I don't care if Jim gets a job somewhere else and he's a great defensive coordinator. Let it go. He didn't want to be here like that. I'm not saying he was never going to come here, but clearly Matt LaFleur did not get the reassurance that he needed in order to bring him in. And clearly through the interview process, Jonathan Gannon displayed enough that made Matt LaFleur believe that he was going to be a good hire. Matt LaFleur has stated before in the past, he wants somebody who can run a defense. And that is what Jonathan Gannon has done. He wanted somebody with head coaching experience. That is what Jonathan Gannon has done. Jonathan Gannon, yes, that team down in Arizona, it wasn't good. Last year they ended up being, I think, 8-9 or 9-8, one of the two. They played in the toughest division in the NFL this past season. Give him time, y'all. Give him time. But 800-990-3776. We're reacting to Jonathan Gannon being hired as a defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. Did the Packers miss out on Jimmy Leonard? Are you not okay with them not hiring Jimmy Leonard? Brad, not okay? I'm okay with it.
I am not okay. For the record, I think Jonathan Gannon will be a good, maybe great hire. The thing is, Matt LaFleur, we all know that he got his extension, which is great. It brings stability to the Green Bay Packers. But we all know he's still under the microscope. This hire of defensive coordinator will have implications whether the Packers play in the Super Bowl or they do not. This is a hire just like Jeff Hafley, which he earned a lot of respect in my ability to trust him as far as making assistant coaching decisions because his track record has not been great. This hire may be a reason why the Packers go to the Super Bowl or they do not go to the Super Bowl. That is how big of a deal it is. Micah Parsons prime, Jordan Love's prime. So to me, I just didn't love seeing the headline. We had to get Jonathan Gannon because if we didn't do it now, we feel like we would have lost him. I would have much rather heard Jonathan Gannon was the best possible candidate out of everybody in the defensive coordinator universe, and our defense is going to be better because of it. I think Jimmy Leonard personally checks every single box. I think Jonathan Gannon checks most boxes. Most, but not all, like Jimmy Leonard.
800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line where less is more. And on the Carbless Talking text line, Jamie Hyman says, Nortman has his Badgers glasses on and can't see through his feelings. Ooh.
I mean, they might be. They're always on in some degree. But come on, Jaime, Jamie, you tell me you don't want Jimmy Leonard, who's had success everywhere he's went?
It's crazy to me that we take a guy who legitimately has never been a defensive coordinator in the NFL. He hasn't. He's never been, and again, just looking at his track record, he's never been a defensive coordinator in the NFL. And some reason, y'all are clamoring and mad that we didn't hire him.
Well, I would just point out, Kyle, Jeff Hafley was also never a coordinator in the NFL.
Well, he's a head coach in college football, though. He led a program.
And a defensive coordinator.
He led a program. Jimmy Leonard.
More of a
Jimmy Leonard did.
So did Jim Leonard.
Coach.
So did Jim Leonard.
Interim. Again, I feel like I got to be negative towards Jim Leonard because of these folks who out here are being mean towards John, and not mean, being negative towards Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon can't take it?
No. Listen, you see the guns and pipes on that guy, and he punched a player.
He did. He struck a player.
He struck a player. What would you do, Brad, if your head coach, because you messed up, your head coach came and elbowed you in the gut?
Get off me. I say, get off me, son.
Yeah, I'm sure you're
just like that.
Shots, explosives. You can run.
Brad, you're reacting to Ron Rivera that way?
Not Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera is much bigger than me, much tougher than me.
Have you seen Jonathan Gannon? He's like your size but bigger.
Is he?
Oh yeah, he's jacked. Got some pythons.
I wouldn't use the word jacked. I feel like D'Amico Ryans is jacked. I feel like Vrabel is jacked. I wouldn't call Jonathan Gannon jacked.
Look it up. He got some big pythons, man.
He looks just like Matt LaFleur. He looks like respectably sized.
I'm gonna show you a video. I'm gonna show you a video of Jonathan Gannon.
Who has a better physique, Jonathan Gannon or Ben Johnson? We saw Ben Johnson with the shirt off.
Jonathan Gannon, but I haven't seen Jonathan Gannon with a shirt off.
Ben Johnson was fairly impressive.
I wasn't impressed.
I'm glad we're judging coaching physiques. I think it matters in front of the team.
I guess it does. 800-990-3776. We are reacting to the hire of Jonathan Gannon as the Green Bay Packers' new defensive coordinator. Are you disappointed that the Packers passed on Jimmy Leonard? Are you disappointed in Matt LaFleur and the fact that he never even interviewed Jimmy Leonard, who he offered the job to a couple years ago before he gave the job to Joe Barry? We're taking your reactions. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You can also watch and stream us live, ESPN Madison on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a share as we are on our road to 20,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share as well and join in on the conversation. But we're looking for your reaction to the fact that the Green Bay Packers have hired Jonathan Gannon. And are you disappointed that Jim Leonard is not the coach? We'll have that and so much more. You're listening to Kyle Brust Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN.
Brent is crazy. Strofe is emotional. I don't want to get in between none of this.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Great. Have a great regular season. What are you going to do in the postseason? This Matt LaFleur era is now basically evolved into regular season. You're going to be fine. Hopefully you can be better than what you've been.
Yeah. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
But you're going to get in the dance. Yep. And then it's going to be, can you do it when the money's on the table? Certainly not the last 2 years.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and if you're serious about getting more active this year, listen up. The Pickler in Menominee Falls is indoor pickleball, and it's for everybody, whether you're brand new or just trying to move more. Right now, they're offering free learn-to-play clinics every Monday and Saturday at noon. No experience, no gear. They'll teach you everything. So stop talking about your New Year's resolutions and go do something about it. Stop in at The Pickler in Menominee Falls or call the club for more details.
Marquetteville on the road at Butler, 87-76 as the Golden Eagles dropped to 7-14 overall and 2-8 in Big East play. Marquette battled back in the second half and cut it to a one-possession game late, but Butler answered down the stretch to pull away. 4 Golden Eagles finished in double figures, led by Royce Parham's 14 points.
James can't finish. Good defense. Sends to a flashing Parham. Strong to the basket and dunks it. Ajayi was there, fell down defending him, and that was an easy dunk for Parham.
Yeah, Parham looks a little different right now.
Marquette is back in action Tuesday at Fiserv Forum, hosting Creighton.
Medicare won't cover everything. That's why you should consider a Medicare supplement. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance helps reduce those out-of-pocket costs when you need medical care. And it's guaranteed renewable for life as long as premiums are paid. Call Saganiac Planning today, 262-783-6161. Ask about WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. The intent of this advertisement is solicitation of insurance. Contact may be made by the insurer or a licensed agent. Neither Wisconsin Physician Service Insurance Corporation nor its agents nor products are connected with the federal Medicare program.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
People say buying a home in winter is tough.
But fewer buyers means less competition, and motivated sellers can mean better opportunities.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf and Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. When the perfect home appears, our team at Tony Wendorf and Associates helps you move fast, even during the snow.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service by simply searching online Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf and Associates.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. Always know you can watch and stream us live by going to 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, or ESPN Madison on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. Join in on the conversation as the chat is going crazy as we debate whether the Green Bay Packers should have waited to interview Jimmy Leonhard or if they jumped the gun in hiring Jonathan Gannon. Now, Jonathan Gannon, to me, Brad, I think it was a good hire. And I understand you wanted Jimmy Leonhard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, beyond you having on your, as y'all say, I have on the Green Bay green and gold colored glasses, you have on the Badger red or Cardinal
and
white glasses. If you can look past the fact that your guy, who you love growing up, who I love growing up, Jimmy Leonhard is not the defensive coordinator, do you think overall this guy, Jonathan Gannon, can get the Packers defense to where it needs to be?
So taking out Jim Leonhard, I do think Jonathan Gannon was a good hire from Matt LaFleur. Here's why. It's impossible not to compare him with who we just had in Jeff Hafley. I think there's a lot of positives. There's a couple negatives I'm a little concerned about. Let's start with the positives. I think he is an elite schemer. From everything that he did in his time as an assistant coach, then more notably as the Eagles defensive coordinator from 2021 to 2022, and even he didn't call plays in Arizona, but they had fairly good defenses. He is an elite schemer, and nobody knows that more than Matt LaFleur. Like, say what you want about Matt LaFleur, but he is a great offensive mind. He knows schemes. He knows which teams give him the biggest fits. He's probably fairly well situated to make a decision on who does he hate going against when he is on offense and going against whoever on defense. So he has a good, intimate knowledge as to what scheme Jonathan Gannon can provide the Green Bay Packers. I think that's the most important quality of any coordinator is, are you putting your guys in a position to succeed? Are you stacking the deck in your favor in order for the scheme to out-scheme the other coach? I think he's a better schemer than Jeff Hafley. I think Jeff Hafley was a good schemer, but I think he was a great leader of men, and I think that led to an above average, a good bordering on great defense that Jeff Hafley had. But it's no question why he became a great head coach, or might be a good head coach in the Miami Dolphins. Jonathan Gannon, excellent schemer. Maybe an elite schemer, which is super important.
Okay, I think elite schemer seems like something I would like.
However, he seemed like he was fairly well-liked in Philly, which is good. But from things coming out in Arizona and from the clips of him, striking a player, which he apologized for.
Pew, pew, pew.
And awkward media clips, I'm concerned that he can't connect. I'm concerned that there's going to be a lack of chemistry that he brings to the players. And I've seen it enough from inside locker rooms. If you've got a coach who's a great schemer, who sets you up well, right? That's awesome. But if there's no connectivity, if there's no trust, if there's no chemistry between coach and player, that scheming can only get you so far. It can help you roll when things are going really well, because who needs chemistry when things are going very well? Winning kind of covers up all blemishes. But when things are going poorly, whether it be adjustments in game or whether it be a losing streak, or if things aren't going exactly how you want, my concern is if that chemistry, if that connectivity isn't put together, when Jonathan Gannon needs to go hard on a player, coach them hard. That's right, just like that. My concern is players won't take the coaching if the relationship isn't built. And that is where there can be a division. So all in that being said, I think he's an elite schemer. I think that they're going to be doing things to make things tough on the opposing offense. But when things go bad, I'm concerned that he won't have the connectivity and the chemistry to coach guys hard and have them receive it. I mean, do you see a guy like Keyshawn Nixon being able to take coaching from a guy who has sound bites that sound like that. Choo choo, choo choo. So that's my concern.
Explosives.
Scheme, I think he'll be great. Chemistry, yet to be determined, because there's enough weird things to make me wonder, when things go bad, will guys respect that and be able to receive that hard coaching?
I just think it's so interesting that people are being so critical of a guy who led a top 10 defense, led a top 8 defense, and one of the best defenses in the NFL, and coached in a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator. I understand.
They had great talent.
They had great talent, but here's the thing. They had great talent, but guess what? They brought him in, and he had to coach up that talent. And the year after he left, they fired the defensive coordinator who couldn't cultivate and grow that talent, and that team completely fell off. So we cannot sit here and discredit what he has done. He was able to take this team. He turned Hassan Reddick, who already before he got to Philly was having some good seasons, but turned him into a Pro Bowl-type player who got paid and has completely fallen off the cliff after he no longer is a Philadelphia Eagle. And then in addition to that as well is that Jonathan Gannon, just his track record for me, is that as a head coach, yes, he struggled and his defense was awful. But guess what? Guess who else struggled before they became a head coach, specifically with the Green Bay Packers? Mike McCarthy. Offenses weren't that great. Matt LaFleur in Tennessee, offenses weren't that great. So being able to understand that sometimes guys schematically can get things together. And what I love most about the hire of Jonathan Gannon is when he did have talent, when he was with Philadelphia, he got the most out of his players. And that is something that you have to look to, is can a guy maximize the talent on the field? He is going to have Micah Parsons coming back next season at his disposal. I don't know if Rashawn Gary will be back, but I do think there's some talented young guys that he's going to be able to put in a position to be very successful. And I trust, based off his track record of success when he had talent in Philadelphia, where he was able to grow that talent and grow a guy like TJ Edwards, where now TJ Edwards is a long-term NFL player playing now for Chicago Bears. But he was able to grow guys like Hassan Reddick. He was able to grow guys, and so I give him credit for growing guys and growing that defense to being one of the best defenses in the NFL that had one of the best sack seasons that we have ever seen in NFL history. So, yes, people can be disappointed that we didn't get Jimmy Leonard, but once you get past your disappointment, recognize that you got a really good guy. And I mentioned it before. You got a guy that had literally a Harbaugh trying to get him. You had a guy that had interest to go in different places to be a defensive coordinator. So with that being said, you should feel comfortable about the move. I promise y'all, he's going to set up schematically. He's going to take this defense, and he's going to make sure they're put in a position to succeed. That is what you're going to see. You're going to see him do some different things. I know they're in Philadelphia. They had 5 guys on the line of scrimmage, and they were able to take advantage of that. He put guys in a position to be successful on the field, and that is exactly what the Packers need. But more importantly, something that we have to understand is that he is going to be a head coach. The last thing we want to see Matt LaFleur doing is sitting there coaching up the defense in practice. Matt LaFleur has no interest in being part of that. He hires guys to do that. So with the fact that this guy has experience being a great defensive coordinator, he has an experience as a head coach, I think that all bodes well for the Green Bay Packers to take the next step as a team to go to a Super Bowl next year. Because after what I saw this past weekend, my team was good enough to go to a Super Bowl.
Oh, come on, Kyle. I don't know about that.
They were good enough to go
to the Seattle Seahawks team is an elite, well-rounded team.
They may have lost to Seattle, but I do think my team was good enough to be. They could have competed in that game yesterday.
Without the injuries they had in Tucker Kraft, Micah Parsons, I think they would have went further. I don't think they would have went to the Super Bowl, but they would have went much further. That's for sure. When it comes to Jonathan Gannon, here's my other thing. When it comes to chemistry, culture, Jeff Hafley was that guy that. Say what you want. Maybe I think he was a good schemer, not as good as Jonathan Gannon. But the guys hit. I mean, they hit. They played hard. You could tell they played on fire for Hafley because he was a mover and a leader of men. My concern is now you pluck away Hafley. You've got LaFleur, you've got Gannon, and you've got Bisaccia. Like, who is the coach that guys play with their hair on fire for? Like, Hafley, you can only do so much above the head coach. But I feel like Hafley maximized the culture of the defense because he's a great leader of men. That's why he's the Dolphins head coach. I don't think Gannon is that guy. I don't think LaFleur is necessarily that guy, and we know Bisaccia isn't that guy. He's just well-liked. So my concern is, yeah, you might have great schemes on offense, on defense, special teams, who knows. but you're still lacking that guy. You didn't replace the Hafley voice, bravado, and presence, because there's no way Jonathan Gannon does that. And Matt LaFleur, over the course of 7 seasons, hasn't had that culture shift, that culture imprint that some of these other guys have had too. So I think that leaves a big void. I think the scheme got elevated, but I think there's a void as far as just like leadership and guys that just want to play on fire for.
I think the leadership will be perfectly fine. I think the biggest obstacle for Jonathan Gannon is not for him to repeat his mistakes when he first got to Philly, where he was a little bit more conservative. He didn't let his guys go. He didn't let the talent in those guys just be themselves. He was too focused on not allowing explosive plays, too focused on making sure guys didn't fail versus letting guys excel. With the roster that you have, because at the end of the day, this defense, though it has holes, it has elite playmakers at certain positions. You have an all-pro at safety. You have an all-pro on the defensive line who hopefully will come back healthy next year. You have a guy in Edgerrin Cooper who can let loose and he can attack at the line of scrimmage. He can fly downhill. You got a guy at Javon Bullard who can cover but also can play in the box. You have a guy in Evan Williams that also can be in the back end. And so there's just a lot of good young talent at his dispense, and I do believe that he's going to maximize that. But again, 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk-In text line where less is more. Are you satisfied with the hire of Jonathan Gannon, or do you believe that Matt LaFleur choked with the hire of Jonathan Gannon? 800-990-3776. You can also watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Strophy, what is your reaction?
Well, my reaction overall is I am not on Brad's side on the Jim Leonhard thing. I hear you in terms of, yeah, you may not have hired him, but they missed their opportunity. Again, I think Kyle's right. I think he nailed it at the beginning of the show, and he said,
"Where's the ding, 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 ding?"
What'd you say? Maryland? If he coached at Maryland?
Yeah, if he coached at Maryland,
but he didn't coach at Maryland.
I don't think anybody's freaking out the way we are. He's obviously an up-and-comer, but I think this signals what the theme has been thus far for the Packers in the offseason, and that is stability, right? They want long-term success, and yeah, you guys have made the point already, but Jonathan Gannon, I don't think he's getting another head coaching look for a while. He might at some point, but I don't think it's happening for a while. And I don't think LaFleur wants to go through the, okay, in 2 years I've got to replace my defensive coordinator again thing. And he's got a guy, and I've said this a lot of Mr. Relevant the last week plus, and Josh DiMaggio always gives me a look when I say it. But something that I think is important for LaFleur this offseason is failed head coaches. Guys that have failed as head coaches. Gannon failed as a head coach. But he is a good defensive coordinator. At least that's what we know about him through the only few years he's been calling defenses. So I like the hire.
Why do you like failed head coaches?
Because I want guys that can acknowledge where they went wrong. I want guys
to
that
help
know,
Matt LaFleur?
Correct, to help LaFleur. And obviously, not that I worry about this, and I don't think this was the case with Hafley, but I don't want guys coming in that will threaten LaFleur or look like they can do the job better. Jeff Hafley certainly did look it like that at times. I want guys who can come in and help LaFleur and have led from the front of the room before and know where they went wrong, and now they're at a stable organization and a stable franchise trying to get over the hump. And I think Gannon checks that box for me. So that was something I was happy with, that he was a failed head coach. And I know that sounds ass backwards, but a failed head coach was important to me.
To defend failed head coaches, you only know how hard the job is until you do it.
Right.
Until you're actually in those shoes, you say, oh, when I'm in charge, I'm going to do A and B and C. You really don't know until you're in it.
That is a very true perspective to have. You're absolutely right, Brad and Strophy, is that it's very different when you actually get in. You say, yeah. So I do hope that he can elevate that, but I do trust and believe that Jonathan Gannon is going to come in here, and I do believe he's going to be able to lead that defense, and I believe we have talent on the defense. We got to get more. But if he, again, these coaches don't have a full-blown say, but they have input, right? They have what they want. They can tell Goody exactly what they're looking for. Jonathan Gannon likes guys on the defensive line. Matter of fact, he actually had a nose tackle down in Philly, and so that is something we'll be interested to see what Goody does in the offseason to adjust a little bit to the scheme that Gannon wants to run.
It's interesting, right? What do we remember about Jeff Hafley in his first press conference, basically with the Packers? He raved about what an Iron Man, Superman type safety can do for a defense, and
that's true. He got one.
Signed Xavier McKinney, so I think that is proof that Goody's maybe a little bit more pliable than we give him credit for, and he likes his defensive line. Coach Gannon is that's referring to, and that's where a need is for the Green Bay Packers. So I'm guessing they're going to try to restock the cupboard both in free agency and the draft with some D-line backup.
800-990-3776. You can call in, text in on the Carbless Talking text line where less is more to join in on today's conversation. As Brad is mad, he's hot. He's hot because Jimmy Leonard did not get at least an interview.
Come home, Jimmy.
He didn't get an interview, and Brad believes that at the end of the day, you got to put a stamp on it. Will Jonathan Gannon succeed here in Green Bay?
Depends what we mean by succeed.
Oh, let's talk about that in a little bit more. Keep it locked. You are listening to Kyle, Brust Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust Nortman, KBN.
Ben, the irony of you saying this guy sounds like a tool and thinks he's better than everybody else.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. You know that saying, new year, new you. Well, how about new year, new home upgrade? Universal Windows Direct has a January offer that's all about starting strong and saving big. Right now, when you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free, and that's one of the biggest offers they've ever done, and with 0% interest financing for 60 months. You'll also get $1,000 off your entire project, plus a vacation voucher with every purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Your New Year routine just got a major refresh thanks to Carbless. Staying mindful, Carbless has 0 sugar and 0 carbs. Watching calories? We've got you covered. Still want something bold and delicious? Well, that's our specialty at Carbless. Whether you're out celebrating or settling into post-holiday goals, Carbless keeps things light, fun, and completely guilt-free. Start your 2026 with flavor and no compromise. Celebrate the new year with bold flavor, 0 guilt, and a drink that keeps things light. Happy New Year from Carbless. Let's make your new year feel flawless.
This is Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. Monster Jam trucks team up with FMX bikes for the ultimate freestyle experience. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the teams, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks and bikes up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Fiserv Forum this weekend.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform, not just exist. Your storytelling would inspire, not fall flat. Your integrated campaigns would create impact, not excuses. There'd be no refreshing dashboards, no waiting on a report to explain what happened. It's time to generate quality leads and turn them into customers. Let's make it happen with Saturn Lounge, your marketing partner for clear, measurable results. Visit us today at SaturnLounge.com. When marketing works, it shows.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com. AdventKnows.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed.
Mamma mia!
Screamin' Sicilian, So loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screaming is about.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
No Ben Brust here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, but fear not, you have myself, Kyle Wallace, Bradley Nortman, and truly Alex Strofe is in a great mood for a Monday because no Ben.
Yeah, walk around with a little pep in his step.
I guess he just hasn't been verbally abused yet today.
Yes. It's amazing what that'll do to you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with you because you've actually been the worst one at that recently, but
stop it.
You're in a different chair and you've been very nice.
Let's keep it real. I'm just going to be very honest here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. Strofe, I don't verbally abuse you. I keep it real. Okay, you ask for my opinion or I share my thoughts. I never.
I don't know that
I never purposely attack you negatively. I simply just tell you what's real. That's what it is. I mean, that's all it is. You ask for my opinion. I just keep it.
You call me broke all the time.
Excuse me.
True or false?
Thank you. True or false?
No,
you
hold on.
broke?
True or false to you, Kyle?
See?
True or false to that fact? However, true or false to you, Kyle, the two most important women in your life, Mama Wallace and Baby Girl.
Yes.
Have they or have they not said some type of words of leave Strofe alone?
They're more gentle souls than I am, and they understand.
You think Strofe can handle it?
Yeah,
tough love.
Strofe can handle. He asked for it. He likes being a punching bag. I don't know why.
Strofe alone.
I don't know.
Leave Strofe alone.
That's concern in Mama Wallace.
Leave Strofe alone.
I'm gonna see her today too.
Are you really?
Yeah. I gotta pick her up from the airport.
Think she's listening?
Oh no. She's. Listen, Mama Wallace is down in the dumps about this loss.
Oh no.
She. She's well, maybe next year.
Did you talk to her boy PS2 last night?
No.
PS2.
I don't think yesterday was the day anybody had much energy to talk. She felt so bad about the losses that she said, I didn't even feel the cold.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
aside from you, who's Mama Wallace's favorite member of this show?
Oh, she doesn't have a favorite member of the show.
I don't believe you.
Everyone has their favorite.
Everyone has their favorite.
No, I've never asked her.
Okay, so here's your homework assignment. Pick her up from the airport.
I didn't know how
ask her
much
that question and report back tomorrow.
Okay, I would do that. I didn't even know how much she listens to the show, to be honest. I get in her car. I have her car right now.
She listens enough to have said this unprompted one time.
Leave Strofe alone.
She listens enough.
Yeah, I'll ask her. I'll ask her. I don't think she has much of an opinion on any of you, to be honest.
She thinks you bully me. That's an opinion.
Yeah, Baby Girl listens. She has opinions on everybody.
Who's Baby Girl's favorite besides you?
I think she likes Brad the most because he is a Virgo, and she's into that.
Be more like
Baby
Brad.
Girl's got great taste.
Yeah,
great taste.
So you being a Virgo attaches to her. She likes Ben, but she's a kind soul. And Ben is not. Ben can be nice.
Ben, he pushes.
Yeah, he pushes. Yeah, like they wouldn't really mesh because Ben pushes a little harder than she likes. But then she loves Strofe too.
Oh yeah.
Is it because I compliment her eyes?
The ladies do love Strofe.
That's true. They do.
It's crazy.
Ladies man.
Because he's like
Ben called me that once.
He's like a child. Strofe is like a child.
No, sophisticated adult.
It's like maternal. Like ladies feel like they need to nurture Strofe.
No,
it's more maternal than it is romantic.
All right, enough of these ladies.
Okay. Well, that didn't go the way I thought.
KBN Nation, you can join in on today's conversation as we are reacting to Jonathan Gannon being the new coach, defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. Again, you can watch and stream us live by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, where you can give us a like, give us a share, and give us a subscribe on our road to 20,000 subscribers. Or you can go to ESPN Madison on YouTube as well. Now, as we talk about the new DC, something else we have to look at is the fact that when you look at this Super Bowl, because as we're talking about games and disappointment as the Broncos lost, when you look at the two coaches coaching in the Super Bowl, there's some commonalities that they have when you look at they're both defensive-minded coaches, where you have Vrabel and you have McDonald. And then also you have two very good offensive coordinators with Kubiak and Josh McDaniels. But also with that, I would say from what we saw from McDonald and what we know about Vrabel is they're culture setters and they're defensive-minded with great OCs. Brad, do you believe that the Green Bay Packers have what they need in order to be the next team representing the NFC in a Super Bowl.
Well, so it's easy to look at the Seahawks and the Patriots and wonder, man, I wonder would a culture-setting, tough, defensive-minded head coach linked with a offensive coordinator who's more of a schemer in a mind, what that could do for the Green Bay Packers, because the Packers have the opposite. They've got a great scheming head coach, but they have really no culture to put your fingerprint on. And even though it's easier to be prisoner of the moment, I still actually trust the Packers system more. And
look at that.
I know. That's,
wow.
And that's saying something. That's saying something from a guy who was a Panther, where it was Ron Rivera, culture, defense, and then you find your top quarterback and a great offensive coordinator and match that. I just think that long term, you're going to get more success from an offensive mind, and top offensive scheming is more important than the defensive side of the ball. That's just the way the NFL has shifted, is that it is similar to how Matt LaFleur had to find a new DC because Hafley went. I think that top scheming offensive coordinators are dialed up and more likely move off than you're able to find them fast enough. So I think you can honestly waste a great quarterback's career if you're always changing schemes. I think the biggest beneficiary of Matt LaFleur staying is Jordan Love. I mean, look at Jalen Hurts. Nick Sirianni's had different offensive coordinators for 5 straight years, and the talent is there, but sometimes it looks like everything is completely out of whack. So, when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, it's always been offensive-centric. It's always been a quarterback-centric. And yes, when they've won Super Bowls, they've had top defenses too. But I think it's easier to maintain and more consistent to maintain an offensive-minded head coach, and then you find your defensive guy. The one thing I can't, make an argument for is the lack of culture. Because you can be an offensive guy and be able to instill culture. I think Holmgren did that. I think McCarthy had a pretty good culture.
Can I ask you, Brad, so what is it about? Because this is one thing I've always been curious about. Because when I look at this Packers team, I do believe they have a culture, and the culture is winning. And again, championship culture is different than winning culture. Winning culture gives you the level of consistency and the foundation that the Packers have. But what is it about Matt LaFleur? What is it about this team that makes people believe that, Matt LaFleur, he's not a culture setter, and look at what this coach Vrabel was able to do year one, and look what McDonald was able to do, and look at Sean McVay. What is it about Matt LaFleur, who has been to the playoffs 6 of the 7 years that he was a coach of the Packers? What makes people think that he can't set a culture?
Well, it's seeing what your eyes tell you, right? They lack consistency, which is coaching. He lacks a certain, I would just say, tough presence. I don't think he's necessarily not a tough guy, but he lacks the tough presence that Vrabel, Shanahan, even McVay in his own way has. And I just think that when it comes to play on the field, they're inconsistent, they're not tough, and there's not something that an adjective that you can use to say, oh, yeah. The Green Bay Packers are this. I think the biggest word I could use is maybe firepower. Like, they have offensive firepower and they have flashes on defense, but they're not consistent, and they're certainly not tough because they get out physicaled by the tough teams in the NFL. It's amazing what Mike McDonald and what Vrabel have been able to do in such a short period of time. They changed the culture of those organizations like this. 4 win seasons for the New England Patriots, then you go to the Super Bowl. That's remarkable. Even the Seattle Seahawks, they were stuck in a purgatory of good, and he got
waxed them last year. We literally beat the snot out of them last year. And look at them, and that's what gives me hope that I do believe that Matt LaFleur is a culture setter, right? Everybody has a different level of culture setting, but I do believe that he is a
How would you describe the Packers' culture? Matt LaFleur's culture?
So I believe Matt LaFleur has a really good pulse on this team, and I believe he has a really good pulse, especially on hiring certain coaches, and I think we've seen that with the last hire of Jeff Hafley, and I think bringing in Jonathan Gannon was another good hire as well. But overall, when I look at the way that this team responds, is that when their back was up against the wall, and there was a time where this team, he didn't lose like 2 games in a row. There was a time where they didn't lose 2 games in a row because he got them up and going. This team, this season, lost to the Carolina Panthers, and the season wasn't on the brink of falling apart, but he was able to get them together, and they went on a 4-game winning streak, right? And I think he has the ability to get these guys excited, get them ready, and get them prepared to go into battle. And again, there's areas that coaches can be better, but nobody's perfect. There's really no
losing streak at the end of the season.
Well, the losing streak, I think it simply just came down to they couldn't stop the bleeding. And at the end of the day, they had the game against the Bears where your starting quarterback goes down. That hurts you. And you had the game against the Broncos where your starting tackle and your starting defensive end both go down. And again, yes, it is an excuse, but if you watch that game against the Broncos, a great pass rush, they couldn't do anything to stop that pass rush, and Jordan Love couldn't do anything in the second, third, fourth quarter. Yes, sir. To the KBN Sports Desk.
Thank you. There you go. Proper introduction. I have a question. I don't know if we should answer this now or maybe do it on the other side, but when you compare the Packers to the two Super Bowl teams, Seattle and New England, and I posed this question to you, I'm curious how you'd answer it. The Packers do blank better than both Super Bowl teams. Silence is deafening. If you want the commercial break, think about it, I'll give it to you.
The Patriots, from what I saw, the Patriots running the ball wasn't that great throughout. I mean, Henderson had his ups and downs. Stevenson, Ramondre has some issues. I mean, Drake May threw the ball really well this year.
I don't know what the Packers do better. You could say for Seattle, Jordan Love is better quarterback.
They do quarterback better.
Maybe protects the ball better.
You still might even be able to make that case against New England, despite how good May was this year. He didn't look that great in the postseason.
He did not.
He was not good yesterday's game was.
No, he wasn't
halftime
good.
on was a snowball.
He wasn't good. In the first half, he was awful.
But
he was awful.
The Patriots' path was certainly
it was easier.
Oh yeah, that's a word for it. That's a word for it. And May did.
Well, they played against a lot of top 10 defenses, though.
Yeah, that's true. But C.J. Stroud forgot how the forward pass worked.
Shoot, so did Stiddy.
Stiddy started the AFC Championship game. Who'd they beat in the first round? A team that didn't have an offensive line, the Chargers.
Yeah. It is. It's crazy to me, though.
They weren't the better team.
To answer your question, and maybe we should get this more on their side. I can't think of anything really definitively outside of good quarterback play. It's amazing what McDonald and Vrabel did from a culture and a toughness and a discipline standpoint.
Yeah.
And that is just something that I feel like the Packers have been lacking. That's why I use the term, like, what's their identity? I think firepower is the best thing to come up with. Like there is fireworks with Jordan Love sometimes. There's fireworks with Micah Parsons and Xavier McKinney turnovers. But that firepower isn't enough to sustain you because I can't call him tough. I can't call him disciplined. And I can't call him consistent.
The thing that disappoints me the most about this Super Bowl, well, other than the fact that I was one game away from going to a Super Bowl, is the fact that the general manager.
You were going to
go? Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm still not sure you'd fall in his top 15 tickets, but.
Top 15? What do you.
You get to buy 15 tickets.
What are you talking about? You get what?
You get to buy 15 tickets as a player. They're not all together. They're spread out.
I was going to ask my boy Nick Ballore for his little, because I know every NFL player gets the option to buy 2 tickets regardless in the NFL, correct? If you're not even playing this.
Yes, any game. Well, you can buy much more. But,
what do you mean any game?
But, there are some limitations. But like if he plays for the Commanders, if they were to play the Packers, you could buy
yes,
a lot more tickets than 2. You get 2 comp.
Yeah.
But
for the Super Bowl,
it's a firm 15. And if you have 17, you better hope that someone else on the team is using 13.
You think that I'm not in my little I don't think you understand. Brad, when I say my little this is my auntie's son who spent the summers.
That is
what
a cousin is. That's correct.
Who spent summers at my house?
The only one thinking this, though, Kyle.
His brother's in my wedding. What do you, the kid's coming to my bachelor party.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of Kyle Wallace's out there.
He's not in your wedding.
No,
and you think you're in his top 15? And he's not even in your wedding?
100%. 100%.
How many siblings? Well,
he only has one sibling. What are we talking about? I told you I'm literally.
We'll never know.
I'm number 5, but hopefully we know one day.
Hold on. I want to get back on track, and we'll take a break, and then we'll come back to this.
This is crazy.
Kyle said, I feel like the Packers should be in the Super Bowl, and he didn't come up with an answer to the question I just asked, which makes me think Kyle actually doesn't think the Packers should be in the Super Bowl.
Well, at the end of the year, it was rough.
Well, yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard to look based off what they had at the end of the year. But when I look at Denver, I mean, our defense, the Packers' defense was really good
Kyle,
this year.
Take a break. Think about it. Come back and answer what the Packers do better than either or both Super Bowl teams.
You heard him. This is Kyle, Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. We're going to figure out what the Packers do better than both of the teams playing in the Super Bowl.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
That is completely unacceptable. It is unacceptable for a team to
unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Is acceptable? Unacceptable?
Unacceptable.
Unaccessible.
Wait, what?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All the antics.
The reason he's not running the ball real well this year is because his pants are way too high. You see him pull his pants up? Check it out.
All the action.
The honeymoon phase is over. Did we forget that he lost 5 games at the end of the season? I can't forget, and I don't know how to move forward.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One Collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One Collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Chancellor's.
To find the Chancellor's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Conference play is here, and every game at the Kohl Center matters. Wisconsin men's basketball kicks off its Big Ten home slate, facing Ohio State, Michigan State, Iowa, and more. Grab single-game tickets to be a part of the action, or elevate your game day with premium seating, including all-inclusive food and beverage, and the best views in the house. Big matchups, Big Ten intensity, the Kohl Center is the place to be. Get your tickets at uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
The Milwaukee Weight Loss Program has been able to change the lives of thousands of people with this incredible metabolic reset program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. There's no better time than now to give yourself the gift of a new you in this new year. Schedule your free consultation now by visiting MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Homer here. I'm starting 2026 off right with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Their team is full of great people who listen to me and my goals through the consultation process. Their program is the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day, and many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call for your free weight loss consultation, 262-235-3980, 262-235-3980, or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde & Towns. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison. Shout out to those folks in Madison. We'll be talking about what happened in Madison yesterday. Big news. Keep it locked. And also 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Shout out to those in the dam. The beef. The beef.
What county is it in?
It's not in Dane County.
It is not. That's where Madison is.
It's not in
Milwaukee County.
Starts with a D.
Look at Brad go.
Starts with a D.
It does. Starts with a D.
Wow. Usually, if you say that, it would help me being from Wisconsin.
You're pretty good at the geography stuff.
But
you're gonna know it when you hear it.
Starts with a D.
Yes.
That's not a county. I'm escaping me.
It's you play this in gym class sometimes.
Oh, Dodge County.
Yeah,
Dodge
there
County.
You go.
I didn't know. Yeah, Dodge County. Oh, I didn't know it was in Dodge County. All I know, growing up as a kid, all I heard was there is a tornado watch for Dodge County. I was like, I ain't going out there.
That is so true.
I ain't going up to Dodge County.
A little different out there.
No interest in being there. But shout out to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube saying Dodge County. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman, the former NFL punter and Madison punter as well. You have Alex Strofe, the producer, holding it down. No Ben Brust today. And before we went to break,
why didn't you give me any qualifications?
You're a producer.
What would you like your qualifications to be?
I got to think about that for a moment.
You know what we should have did?
On air extraordinaire.
When Strofe was being dragged, we all were being dragged by Chicago sports fans. We should have retweeted his combine video. Boy, you would have turned your mentions off.
If Chicago gets a hold of your combine video.
Yeah, they've already got my Colston Loveland clip. They have enough.
Yeah, if somebody retweets.
We're only about a month away from running it back, Bradley.
I'm excited for it.
You going to try?
Want another thing of my gear?
Yeah, will you allow that?
Well,
he embarrassed.
I know last year you said I embarrassed you and you regret doing it.
You did. So. You disgraced my my NFL combine stuff.
Now, your son can never wear that.
I forgive you.
Yeah, you should definitely never forgive him for that.
All right, Kyle.
But you asked me, what do we do better? So I racked my brain during the break because Strofe asked me, what do the Green Bay Packers do better than the Seattle Seahawks or better than the New England Patriots? And I came up with this big thing. Nothing. Literally nothing. At the end of the day, yes, I can talk about the injuries that the Packers had. I can talk about, what if this, what if that. But at the end of the day, the Packers do nothing better than either team. When you look at the defenses that these two teams have, Seattle's defense is significantly better than ours, and the New England Patriots defense is a better unit than ours as well, and they have better quarterbacks. So they got us defensively beat. Offensively, yeah, our quarterback, I believe, is better. I would take Jordan Love over Drake May in a playoff game. I would take Jordan Love, even though Sam Darnold played fine yesterday. I would take Jordan Love over both of those guys, but guess what? And offense as a whole, JSN, incredible. The running game that they do have, Kenneth Walker played well in the postseason. So I'm not taking anything. Special teams, I don't even want to go there. I know both those teams, though the field goal kicker from the Patriots missed some field goals in that weather yesterday, I know the kicker from Seattle's a great kicker. So at the end of the day, there's nothing they do better.
So I guess I'm confused then.
Well,
I asked that because you started the show by saying, I feel like we should be there. And if you can't come up with a single thing the Packers do better than either team represented in the Super Bowl, that tells me you're lying to yourself.
It was based off of what I saw earlier in the year.
I was going to say punting because Daniel Whalen's a beast.
And as you know, that goes a long way in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Not if you want to win it, at least. But the punter for the Seahawks is a beast too.
Dude, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, he's an all-pro all the time too.
Yeah,
I can't definitively say that.
It's Seattle continued to get better, and that is the thing. And they found ways to win close games against a good LA Rams team, and they did it multiple times this season.
What's remarkable too is, like, gosh, I don't seek out Seahawk and Patriot games to watch, but if you told me you have to name 8 starters,
no, you struggle.
I don't even know who these guys are.
You'll
they're
struggle.
Incredible. Like they have built it the right way. They've been able to. They almost do it how the Packers want to do it.
Yeah.
They've drafted.
What do you mean they do it?
Incredibly.
Brad, you know why they do it? Do you know why they do it the way the Packers want to do it? And they probably do it in the Packers way. Because they're disciples of the Green Bay Packers. You're talking about John Snyder, who was with the Packers organization, who is still running the Seahawks organization, who I believe at this point has gotten them to more Super Bowls than what the Packers have gotten to with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, or at least a tie. I think it might be tie. It might be 3-3.
Well, this will be their third, yeah.
And then you're talking about Elliott Wolf. Elliott Wolf got turned down for the job that Goody has now. Elliott Wolf, I believe, went to Cleveland after that. And then after Cleveland, he found his way in New England. And guess what? Elliott Wolf is in a Super Bowl before Goody is, before Matt LaFleur is. Like, we got the wrong guy. That's what it comes down to.
Since John Snyder left Green Bay the second time and became the general manager in Seattle, Green Bay
2013?
2010. So it was the year the Packers won the Super Bowl. It was the year the Packers won the Super Bowl. It was Schneider's first season in Seattle.
But the team was already built.
Yeah. And Schneider's gone 3 times.
He has created the Legion of Boom, which was the best team in the NFL, along with the Panthers and the Patriots, I guess the Broncos, for 5 years. And now this team.
I think what Goody needs to do is maybe Goody needs to look at what those guys are doing and be better, because you came under the same tree. And what I'm afraid of is John Eric Sullivan done went down to Miami, and he might end up turning the Miami Dolphins into a competitive team. I mean, that's what
they extended the wrong guy.
Yeah, we'll see. But 800-990-3776 is Kyle Brust Nortman. On the other side, we'll keep reacting to the fact that the Green Bay Packers have hired Jonathan Gannon as their defensive coordinator. KBN Nation, what I want to know from you, are you happy about the hire, or are you disappointed that the Packers did not wait for Jimmy Leonard? 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talk and text line. In addition to that, you can watch and stream us live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube as well. But are you happy about the Packers hiring Jonathan Gannon? I want to hear your reactions coming up next. This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Get ready for the ultimate freestyle experience. Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. For the first time ever, Monster Jam trucks team up with freestyle motocross bikes to deliver gravity-defying skills and thrills. See one-of-a-kind FMX bikes designed to match your favorite iconic Monster Jam trucks. Cheer on your favorite team. 2 times the freestyle action, full sand family fun. Coming to Fiserv Forum this weekend. Brought to you by B80 Tires. Visit monsterjam.com.
Marquette came up short at Butler, falling 87-76, dropping the Golden Eagles to 7-14 overall and 2-8 in Big East play. Freshman Nigel James Jr. was the spark for Marquette, pouring in 15 points while directing the offense with 8 assists. His energy helped fuel a second-half push that briefly pulled the Golden Eagles within a possession, but the Bulldogs regrouped late and closed it out at the line.
Long rebound, Marquette, long pass, James is free. He'll go to the basket and stuff it with 2 hands. Great pass.
Marquette returns home Tuesday night at Fiserv Forum to take on Creighton.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is hour 2 of Kyle Brust Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. It might be frigid outside, but it's hot inside as we're reacting to the Green Bay Packers passing on Jimmy Leonard, not even interviewing Jimmy Leonard and hiring Jonathan Gannon as their guy, as the new defensive coordinator to take over for Jeff Hafley, who moved on to Miami. I am Kyle Wallace. He is Brad Nortman. No Ben Brust today, as he is out on assignment, as we used to say, and Alex Strofe holding it down behind the glass. Now, with this decision, and a lot of folks are questioning Matt LaFleur. A lot of people are trying to understand why he made this decision. Why didn't he wait? Why didn't he wait for Jimmy Leonard? What I want to know from you, Brad, is somebody who's been around the NFL, played in Carolina, played in the Super Bowl, played in Jacksonville, where you played in the AFC Championship. You've been around a lot of great coaches. Sean McDermott is one of them. Mm-hmm. Do you trust that Matt LaFleur made the smart move, or do you believe he made the safe move, and do you trust him to get the job done with the right hire?
So I believe that, this is not going to sidestep your question, but I believe Jonathan Gannon was the safe choice for defensive coordinator, but that doesn't mean it's a dumb decision. I think it was actually a smart move to go with him. Now, again, I wish I would have been Jimmy Leonard. However, I think Matt LaFleur knows if this team is ever going to make a Super Bowl in the next couple of years, he knows that the defense is never going to be top 5, top 2, top 3. They're never going to be an elite defense. So you need to have somebody that's going to wring the most out of your defense. And the quickest way to do that is scheme. If guys are in the right place, going to the right holes, in the right coverage, then that is going to at least put you in the top half of defenses. I think Matt LaFleur knows if the Packers are ever going to make the Super Bowl, he has to pull himself up by his offensive bootstraps, turn Jordan Love into a perpetual MVP type quarterback, and win with offense. Now, it's not necessarily a strategy that you feel great about, because every time the Packers went to or won a Super Bowl, they had a top 1 or top 2 defense. But I just think he looks at this team. I think I look at this team and say, Goody made a big splash with Micah Parsons, but it's not like this team is riddled with layer after layer after layer of top-end elite defensive talent. I look at the Broncos, I look at the Seahawks, and I'm like, that is what elite defenses
drafting
look like.
And a lot of developing there.
They've got D-line, linebackers, and secondary that are all awesome. Like, you have a hard time finding their deficiencies. Even look at like Houston. I don't think that the Packers will be that over the next 3 to 5 years. I think Matt LaFleur says, I need a schemer. I need a guy who's going to put guys in the right position, and we just need to hold it down to try to be top 10-ish, knowing we're never going to be top 3, and the offense is going to have to cook. And I just think Matt LaFleur knows his standard of offense, his adjustments mid-game, and him taking everybody to the next level. That means, importantly, Jordan Love. I think he knows I'm going to have to win with offense, and defenses have to be just good enough.
So do you trust Matt LaFleur with it's just hiring decisions when it comes to coordinators, right? Because he has a history where we're talking about Rich Bisaccia. We're talking about Adam Stenavich, who is the offensive coordinator. We're talking about the fact that he hired Joe Barry and kept him on too long. Do you trust him to make these decisions to hire these different coordinators, despite the fact that people are asking for the special teams coordinator and the OC to be fired?
I don't think that he's earned implicit trust. I think that Hafley was a good step in the right direction. But the fact that it took so long, you hired Joe Barry and took forever to fire him. You hired Rich Bisaccia, which has also been a failure. And it sounds like he's still staying on. I know we have Jason here in about 5 minutes. And Jason said that inside the building, he's sort of like the cool grandpa. Everybody loves Rich Bisaccia, and he's sort of like a vibes guy, which is great. But hard decisions have to be made, and very rarely do the Packers out-coach the opponent. When they do, it's because Matt LaFleur comes up with a genius scheme, or, the defense is playing with their hair on fire. You're going to lose the hair on fire part. I think the scheme improves. But Matt LaFleur knows I'm going to have to do the best possible job with this offense to win football games. So I don't think that we've earned it. I think that we have to look at his hires through a very fine filter. But because of that, I feel like Jonathan Gannon actually passes that, because he had such success with the Eagles. If he hired a guy who had a more, uncertain path, maybe not even uncertain, but just like when he hired Joe Barry, he was the D coordinator of the 0-16 Lions team. You look at that and say, what are we doing hiring a guy like that led that defense? So to me, I think that this hire specifically is a smart bet. I don't see this.
All right, then. I think it's a smart bet as well.
It's a smart bet.
That's why I think we should all be happy about it. It's a smart bet. When you have an opportunity and your top 3 candidates are all smart bets, you should be excited. I don't think there was a lose candidate that will seem to be one of the final candidates. Christian Parker, a guy that they interviewed, he ended up getting a job in Dallas. That means he was a hot commodity. Jonathan Gannon was going to get a job somewhere to be a defensive coordinator. Al Harris may be on his way to Pittsburgh to coach to be a defensive coordinator for the Steelers with Mike McCarthy. So if this is the pickings that we're looking at, that means that you're picking from a really good pool. And again, for those who are disappointed, which it seems like maybe the tide is turning based off the poll, maybe everybody's emotions are out of it, where they were furious about not getting Jimmy Leonard or interviewing Jimmy Leonard and the hiring of Jonathan Gannon. I think now that people had an opportunity to do their research, do their homework, they understand that the Packers came away with a win. They came away when, again, we don't know what league circles say. But based off sources, everybody's saying that this was a good, hire for the Packers. It sounds like he was a well-respected guy for the Packers. Who are we to say, oh, well, we're mad about that? The dude has a track record of success as a defensive coordinator. He was so good in Indianapolis as a defensive back coach that Nick Sirianni, who turned out to be a Super Bowl winning coach, said, I need to bring that guy with me. From the defensive back coach, I'm going to give you your first opportunity to be a defensive coordinator here with me. And then after he left Philly to go on to become the head coach in Arizona, guess what? The guy they brought in after him wasn't good, and it took for Vic Fangio, who is a tremendous defensive coordinator, to come in and right the ship and get them to the level of being as great as they were under Jonathan Gannon. So I really think that this was a smart move and a great move by Matt LaFleur, and I trust him to continue to build staffs.
But I don't believe that Jonathan Gannon will take this team. I don't think he's so good that he's going to take this team to being a top 3 defense. And that's not necessarily Matt LaFleur's fault.
He's led a top 3 defense before.
I think there's a lack of talent that some of these other defensive have, and then you can look at Goody for that. So for that reason, I think Matt LaFleur probably made the right decision. You're probably right. Al Harris, I guess I prefer former players if possible. Al Harris, Jim Leonard, I think they can just bring something more than that someone who's never played can do. Not to say that people that never played at the professional level can't be great. I'm just saying between the two, all else equal, I like former players. But I think Jonathan Gannon, they're going to be a top 10 defense. I just don't think they're going to be top 3. I don't think they're going to be elite. I don't think the defense will be the reason that this team goes to a Super Bowl.
It's now in Goody's court to get him some pieces on the defense to allow for Gannon and that defense to cook. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line, and you all are reacting. JD and Fondy said, I'm excited about Gannon. Has a lot to offer. Hector Baez said, I think he said, Matty Mouse hired Jonathan to be his backbone since he doesn't have one.
Wow.
That is.
I'm not sure you want Jonathan Gannon being your backbone.
That seems to be somebody who believes in what Ben Brust is selling. He said Matty Mouse hired Jonathan to be his backbone since he doesn't have one. John and MKE said Gannon has coached in a Super Bowl. That's something Hafley has not done. Jim Leonard has not done, and many of the defensive coordinators that are out there trying to get jobs have not done it as well. I say ding, ding, ding. That is exactly how I feel as well. But coming up next, we have Jason Wilde, and he will share how he feels about the defensive coordinator position and whether or not the Packers should have waited for Jimmy Leonard. We got Jason Wilde coming up next right here on Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
I'm with you on moving on.
Yeah, move on. Like a bad relationship.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Looking like delays on westbound 94 are stretching from just past 27th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound is backing up a bit, 76th Street to Hawley Road. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rising temperatures, chance for flurries, mostly cloudy, a low of 11. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny and cold, a high of 14. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home Blow and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build your own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free, and 0% financing for 60 months, $1,000 off, plus a bonus vacation voucher. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Chancellor's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke.
Be patient, he's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive.
No, he bought them at Chancellor's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Chancellor's,
And we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair.
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair?
For the Chancellor's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
He was not taken out of context. He said the whole thing.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I don't think that means much, though. Like, it very rarely happens.
Holding everybody accountable.
They need to be more mature.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle Brust Nortman.
You heard that. We are being joined by Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch, 9 to noon here on ESPN Wisconsin. Wilde, how you doing? Welcome in to Kyle Brust Nortman with no Brust.
Kyle, it's been so long since we talked.
I know, right?
And Strofe, too.
More than 24 hours. Crazy. Don't like going
More
that
importantly, there's no alarm going off. You're not being told to vacate the building, because the last time I was talking to you, that's what I was hearing at my end.
Yeah, I had to turn off their mics because I heard there was a moment there where it kind of got you a little bit because it was very distracting.
It was very distracting. Yes, I was struggling, but no, it's gone now. So it's great to talk with you guys.
It is great to have you here. And Jason, why is it so important for Matt LaFleur to hire somebody that has head coaching experience at that defensive coordinator position? I know Jeff Hafley got it from the college side. Now you see Jonathan Gannon coming from the head coaching side with the Arizona Cardinals. Why do you think that's such an important factor in this decision in hiring Gannon?
Yeah, I don't know if it is, right? I mean, it's possible that it's just coincidental when you kind of look at, this will be his 4th coordinator, and Joe Barry didn't have any, right? He chose Joe Barry, and he was ready to hire Jim Leonard, who had no head coaching experience, but obviously he inherited Mike Pettin from Matt LaFleur, or from Mike McCarthy, and then obviously he chose Hafley, and now he's chosen Jonathan Gannon. It's a good question and a worthwhile question to ask him. When we talk, it'll be my second question after, why couldn't you wait a day to talk to Jimmy Leonard?
My question, Jason.
Yeah, and again, and we had a good conversation, Balaga and I, with Tausch out today on Wilde and Tausch. I mean, look, first of all, do I think there were probably back-channel communications? I don't know if it's like that show FBI where they're using, like, burner phones and voice modulation, but do I think there was probably some sort of back channeling? I think there probably was, right? I mean, how else does Ian Rappaport put it out there that there's mutual interest in the job, right?
Yeah.
So there had to be some sort of communication. Now, I haven't talked to Matt, traded a text message with him, but that was it. And I don't know I don't know anything. I don't know his reasoning. I don't know why he didn't wait. I mean, Jim Leonard is literally available right now. Like, he's obviously under contract to the Broncos, but he is available for interviews. The rules are very clear. They could have had him on an airplane today from Denver.
But what if he says no, Jason? What if he says, I don't know, I don't want to go. Maybe I want to stay in Denver because Vance Joseph. Like, now you may lose out on the guy who you may actually really have won in Jonathan Gannon.
You could, and maybe that'll be, Matt LaFleur's answer. I had my guy. There was something about it. I think the world of Jim, and I did want to talk to him. I mean, again, it's been a really long time. I do interviews every day, right, with people that I'm asking the questions of. And I guess theoretically, with the number of times I'm on shows, I'm on the other end of the interview spectrum, so to speak. But I haven't had a job interview in a really long time. But I've always kind of thought, if you interview a bunch of candidates, it doesn't matter what order they're interviewed in. It matters that you make your choice, right? And so I would say that just because he spent 2 days with Jonathan Gannon doesn't mean that he is required to hire him, but maybe he felt that need. And maybe he also was thinking about, okay, there's a bunch of other teams that don't even have their head coaches yet, much less have filled out their staffs. I don't want to wait around. I like this guy a lot. I respect him. I was impressed with what he did against my offense. We only had 262 yards in that game. I'm going to hire this guy. Again, until we talk to Matt, and my only request of Matt, other than making Jonathan Gannon be better with us than he was with the Arizona media, is to do some sort of availability with him and Gannon, even if he doesn't have the rest of his staff set. Like, this is a primary job. He's basically, just as Jeff Hafley was, and in a roundabout way to get back to your question, Kyle, he wants a guy who's going to be the head coach of the defense. Not that the buck doesn't stop with him as the true head coach, but I think he likes the idea of having a defensive coordinator who has that kind of autonomy, that he's like, look, this guy's been a head coach. He can be the head coach of the defense. Certainly I'm going to be part of decisions and whatever else, but I want someone that I can trust to kind of be that type of leader of the defense. So that would be my guess. But again, it's a great question, and one that I want to ask Matt, because now this is his fourth defensive coordinator, and 3 out of the 4 will have been a head coach in some way, whether it be in college or in the NFL.
Yeah, well, that was my question. I would have loved Jimmy to get his shot, but you answered that, so we won't continue to beat that horse, Jason.
So you
obviously,
guys
they went
were
with
not
Jonathan
teammates,
Gannon. That's who it's going to be. So
you said what, Jason?
Brad, so you weren't. He obviously is a lot older than you, but was he on the staff when you were a player? What was your history with him?
I have no personal history with him. Actually, a fun story, a quick story, but I know your time is limited. So when I was playing for the Badgers, Jim Leonard was still playing in the NFL. The backup punter on our team, who's the best man at my wedding, he was a huge Jim Leonard fan. So for his birthday one year, I sent a picture to Jim Leonard when I was punting for the Badgers, sent it to him at the Jets facility. He signed it, sent it back, and I framed it for my buddy. So he's a stand-up guy. I also punted. I also was playing for the Panthers. We were playing the Browns in his last season, and I punted to him. Super long story. Every week, a former Badger would give him a gag gift of sorts for like a happy retirement. So I gave him like this Oscar for greatest special teams player in Wisconsin history. Whatever. Anyway, they're all like minimal touch points, but every time it's been awesome. And obviously the general consensus of him is great dude. Guys love playing for him. They play with their hair on fire. And he knows the game because he had to maximize it both as a player and as a coach. Anyway, this is about Jason Wilde, though. So I want you to tell us, who should we expect out of like Jonathan Gannon? Who is he? What's his personality? What type of, not type of defense, but paint the picture on who he is? Because I'm not going to lie, my more visceral thoughts when I think of him are just these awkward media stints.
Well done. Yeah, he was not great with the media. And he punched one of his guys in the stomach on the sideline.
Was the punch like out of excitement, or was it like he did something wrong. He was mad. It was like legit. Like
the guy fumbled at the goal line.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if he was like showboating when he fumbled, or I think that maybe was what it was. I have not gone back and looked, but yeah, it was definitely not in a hey, I am doing.
I saw like like come on, we got to be better than that. I don't know if he punched him. That'd be kind of crazy.
I don't know, but the Cardinals fined him $100,000, so he did something. But look, to me anyway, when I kind of look at him, I was talking to a couple of my buddies that cover the Cardinals, and they said he's a really good dude, which, you know, they would tell me if he was a complete jerkweed. But he was definitely either unwilling to speak and give information to the media, or he was awkward, one or the other. Now, I was going to reach out to a couple of my buddies that have covered the Eagles and would have covered him when he was there, because obviously in the defensive coordinator's role, he's a little bit different. But he's a smart guy. He's got a bunch of varied experience. I mean, he started out in the St. Louis Rams personnel department, first as a college scout and then as a pro scout, and he was there for, I think, 3 years before he got into coaching. His playing career at Louisville was cut short by a hip injury. So, you know, he got into coaching early, kind of like Goody, right? I mean, Goody's playing career at UW La Crosse ended prematurely.
La Crosse, Louisville, same thing.
Well, I'm saying that they got into the job very early in their careers. Like, you know, I think Goody was actually helping coach at La Crosse, and then he got that internship with the Packers. So he started his NFL career when he was like 22, 23, somewhere in there. And that's the same as Gannon. I mean, Gannon's been in the league for 20 years, basically, and he's only 43 years old. So, look, I'm not going to pretend that what my buddies were able to glean from their time covering him is the complete book on what he's like or what he's going to be like as a defensive coordinator. I would just say this, and I used this in a story, and I was glad I did, because I didn't realize he was going to get the job, but I think it really does speak to why he got the job, was that when he was interviewed by Nick Sirianni, he had been the DB's coach in Indianapolis, and when he was interviewed for the defensive coordinator job, he basically, his opening line to Sirianni when he asked, you know, what kind of scheme do you want to run? I don't have a scheme. And basically what he's saying is, I'm going to match my scheme to the personnel I have, not fit square pegs into round holes. Now, in Arizona, they were a 3-4 base defense. Obviously, the Packers under Hafley were a 4-3 base defense. And as much as you want to say, and Brad obviously knows this as well, like, you can say that you're in nickel 80% of the time. It doesn't really matter. There was that time when LaFleur mansplained to me why there weren't really just two down linemen on that one running play. But the fact of the matter is that you still do play base, and it still does matter. The spacing matters, everything else. So for me anyway, I would argue that whatever his plan is does matter, and they do have to figure out kind of how that dovetails with what Hafley ran. But if he's kind of amorphous and is able to change things up, that should allow them to transition relatively easily.
I think that's one thing, the versatility. I know in Philadelphia they ended up doing like a five-man front where they basically put Hassan Reddick standing up and put him in a position where they had to block him with tight ends or had to chip him with different backs, and it put Hassan Reddick in a place where he can be successful. So I'm definitely interested to see how he utilizes the talent that we have in mostly Micah Parsons on the defensive side of the football. But Jason, what's next for LaFleur? Because now that the defensive coordinator position is figured out, all eyes now move on to Stenavich on the offensive side of the football. What's the next step, and what's the plan for Adam Stenavich? Will he be back as OC?
Yeah, it's a great question. He's interviewing with the Tennessee Titans for their offensive coordinator job. Obviously, this would be a huge opportunity for him. He has obviously been with Robert Saleh before. They were both in San Francisco together before LaFleur came to Green Bay and hired Stenavich to be his offensive line coach. So they've got some shared history there. Obviously, Saleh had gone to New York, where he at one point had Matt LaFleur's brother. So clearly he wants to run a system like McVay and Shanahan and all those guys that, he's kind of the black sheep, right? Because while all these other guys are offensive guys, Saleh is in that clique, but he's a defensive guy. So he's going to want someone from that system who can also be a guy that can call plays for him offensively, because he's certainly not going to do that. So, this could be a great opportunity for Steno. And I can't remember if I said this to you or to Strofe on Weekly Wildy, but speaking of Tennessee, back in 2018, Matt LaFleur, there were reports that he was going to be fired as the offensive coordinator, that Vrabel wanted to change offensive coordinators, and he basically waited to make a decision on LaFleur's future because LaFleur was interviewing for the Packers head coaching job, and I think maybe one other. And obviously you don't want to fire a guy and ruin his chances of getting that job when you can wait a few days and maybe he'll get it. You don't have to fire him. And that's exactly what happened. I'm not saying that that's what Matt LaFleur is doing here, but I think it's at least a possibility that he would be fine with Steno getting another job and then having the opportunity to bring someone else in. Now, I would argue that this would, if that were to play out and Steno goes to Tennessee, I would argue that's a great opportunity to get someone who's going to bring maybe some experience in the same system, but some fresh ideas and a fresh perspective. I mean, he brought back Getsy after Getsy got fired by the Raiders and the Bears. He brought back Hackett after he got fired by the Broncos.
Who's on the defensive side of the ball, though, right now?
Hackett is, not Getsy.
Yeah, Hackett.
But I mean, come on.
Here's what he does.
I mean, it matters, I guess, but he basically looks at the defense from an offensive coordinator's perspective. It's exactly what Robert Saleh did when he came in and looked at the offense from a defensive coach's perspective. Bottom line is his history is in offense. I mean, his dad was one of Mike McCarthy's biggest mentors. So my question is, if Steno got this job, for all the folks that don't want retreads, like wouldn't it be smart to go outside and maybe bring someone in who hasn't been on your staff previously, maybe get some new ideas? I don't know, and it may not happen. I mean, maybe Steno just sticks around, but I think there's a lot of musical chairs going around in the NFL right now. With some head coaching jobs still not filled. And I don't know, Brad, have the Browns called you yet? Because it looks like they're having trouble getting people to just stay in the hunt for their job.
Back channels and burner phones, Jason, just as you described earlier.
You and Jimmy. Yep,
that's right. The musical chair is already continuing, Jason. As you've been on the phone, it's been reported Ryan Downard is following Jeff Hafley to Miami. That's the Packers defensive backs coach. So certainly something to keep an eye on there.
That is what I thought would happen. And I'm going to guess, and again, I don't want to get clipped for this. I'm guessing that there was at least some hope in Ryan Downard's mind that he might be promoted to defensive coordinator. I have not talked to Ryan. I don't have his cell phone number. But he is Jeff Hafley's protege. Him and Sean Duggan. Sean Duggan's been with Hafley everywhere he's been. So I don't know if he thought he was going to get the job or what was going to happen, but that does not surprise me. And that's another layer to this, is who's Jonathan Gannon going to want to bring in, right? Are we, some years, like when Joe Barry came in, he basically kept everybody that was already here. And now, I don't know if that'll be the case or if there'll be a lot of changes in terms of – so there's a lot of moving parts right now for the Packers.
Indeed, there is, Jason. Really quick before we let you go, did the Packers choose the wrong guy when they chose Goody over Elliott Wolf? I mean, Elliott Wolf's not coaching. He's led a team to a Super Bowl now as the president or just running operations, and now John Schneider there as well. And I understand John Schneider wasn't going to be the Packers GM because Ted Thompson was still there and we're riding high. Did we hire the wrong guy, Jason?
Well, first of all, I don't know if we can say for certain that John Schneider wasn't a candidate to come back in 2018.
Really?
Like they had obviously, yeah. I mean, again, back channels and burners and whatever else. But I mean, you know, and John lost his dad several months ago. He was really close with his father, and obviously he would always joke whenever I would talk to John about how his parents wanted him to come back. And then I think Rob Domofsky was the one who reported that John Schneider was one of the outside interviews for team president that obviously went to ed policy. So
really,
I'm not sure that's I know. I know. Now again, team president as opposed to general manager.
But no. But that's still a great football mind. And I don't know. I mean, I was so young when Harlan was in charge, so I have no idea. I just know he made the right decisions. But I would have been okay with that, Jason.
Yeah. So I mean, did they hire the wrong guy? I don't know. I mean, look, biases to be revealed here. Like I have a phenomenal relationship with Elliot Wolf. Obviously, I covered his dad. I mean, I had a good relationship with Goody. Don't get me wrong. Before he got the job, but you know, I kind of thought Elliot Wolf was going to get the job, frankly, in 2018. And the fact that they basically argued that he didn't have enough college scouting experience because he was on the pro side the whole time. I always thought that was kind of bunk. So I'm not gonna say they hired the wrong guy because I certainly don't want to get Soundgraphed, but I would say that it's not an unreasonable question to ask.
I'll say it for you. They hired the wrong guy.
Yeah,
they hired the wrong guy, Elliot Wolf.
Say it. Yeah,
he. I mean, look what he was able to do.
Remarkable.
He literally, he's Check
out social media. Check out social media. You'll find Kyle saying that.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, did you know did we tell you this? I emailed with Elliot Wolf back in 2014 about being an intern with the Packers.
You wanted to be a scout, Jason. Could you imagine Kyle in that rank?
Yeah.
I could, actually.
Yeah.
I could, although he probably wouldn't be up Brian Gutekunst.
No, I wouldn't be on his staff. I'll be with Elliot in New England. I would be in New England right now. Jason
Going
Wilde.
to a Super Bowl, Kyle.
Yeah, I'll be going to a Super Bowl. Jason Wilde, thank you so much for joining us here today.
All right, guys, have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Look at that. Jason Wilde not hanging up on us because Ben Brust is not here today.
Beautiful.
Jason had an easy, great.
It's beautiful.
It's great. Strofe is in a good mood. Jason's in a good mood. There's only one common denominator and no Ben Brust. This is Kyle Brust and Norman. We'll continue the conversation on the other side.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
And that Alex Strofe, you look like you had something to say.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We're looking pretty good. We've got a little bit of a backup eastbound 94 from about 70th to about Hawley Road. The westbound side is tightening up a bit from about 30th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, and 43 southbound now starting to slow down just a little bit from Kilbourne all the way through the Marquette onto the high-rise bridge. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rising temperatures, chance for flurries, mostly cloudy, a low of 11. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny and cold, a high of 14. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation course starts today.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal and Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal and Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
Rock a big win this January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $60,000 in prizes every week. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your January drawing entries all roll into an even bigger prize drawing in March. Rock on all month long, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Join before January 31st to get the lowest rates of 2026. Make sure you join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow.
At Associated Bank, we thought about speaking like other banks with hoity-toity names like Total Privilege Pay or something. But we don't speak bankish, we speak your language. When we say 2-day early pay, we mean you get paid 2 days early. $50 overdraft grace zone? That's a grace zone of up to $50 if overdrafts happen. And maintenance fee free account? Well, that speaks for itself. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Bradley Nortman, a longtime NFL punter, also punting legend at the University of Wisconsin. No Ben Brust today.
Legend.
He is a punting legend. I remember we saw him run not once but twice on fake punts, right?
Twice.
Yeah.
Brad, do you feel as if legend is the correct word?
I'm trying to think of a better adjective, and I can't think of one.
So legendary, he's still not even in his own high school's Hall of Fame.
That's crazy. I may beat you to the Hall of Fame.
What's that?
I may beat you to the Hall of Fame for my team. I mean, I won't be for sports. I'll be for media.
You'd be in the media.
There's a media wing of the Whitefish Band
There's
Hall
like
of Fame?
theater, arts contribution. Yes, there's contributors that way.
Are you like in the radar of?
I would say so. I mean,
Wow.
if you use my name, like Whitewater, they keep using my name for stuff, for promotion stuff. They don't have to. Yeah, I'm all happy about it, but y'all don't have to ask the brother to come back to get some type of plaque, something. But speaking of coming back, there was some breaking news. I don't know if anybody heard this. Bradley, guess what? You know how y'all was mad at Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin about how she wasn't investing in football, how she didn't care? Well, guess what? Jennifer about to get up out of here. She's going to Columbia. What do you think that means for this Badgers program?
I'll tell you what, this is a critical juncture for the University of Wisconsin. Not only the football team, but the university in general. And here's why. The football program for any university, right? Whether you're Alabama or Wisconsin or Whitewater, Kyle, it is a mechanism for marketing. That's basically what it is. Obviously, there's a financial component to where if you're a really good football team, you're bringing in a bunch of money for the university, obviously the other sports. But it is like another marketing mechanism for the university. Did you know that before Nick Saban and Alabama football, but if we went total amount of applications pre and post Nick Saban, they doubled and tripled at the University of Alabama. They were able to raise their student standard, able to take in more money, grow as a university, all because people wanted to be a part of Alabama football. So the university benefited from that. This new chancellor, There's going to be a new chancellor. The chancellor that is currently there is going to Columbia at the end of the school year. So the Board of Regents, the University of Wisconsin, has an opportunity to hit the reset button to pick a chancellor that's invested in football, that's going to hold Mack and Fickle accountable for what they produce on the field. Now, I'm not calling to say, fire them year one. What I am trying to say is a chancellor that realizes that football is critical. You can't take a backseat to it. You can't just let it play out. You can't embrace mediocrity. You have to say Wisconsin football needs to be great. And I'm going to do everything I can to allow that to be great. And of course, all the other ways that the university can be great from an academic and a science and an experimental type role that the leadership focuses at the University of Wisconsin. But no longer can a chancellor just sit back, relax, and say, Mac, whatever you want to do, just go ahead and do. We're okay with 5 wins a year, 4 wins a year. The next chancellor must, and I mean must, take an invested role in the football program. And if they're not doing their end of the bargain, you have to make strong moves, and you have to make it quickly, because we have seen how much it can collapse. We can see the impact on the university, and you just cannot do that in today's landscape. So here's an opportunity for the reset button, Kyle. Part of the job responsibility, you know how they put that out there, like, hey, you need 10 years of experience. You need a master's degree. Will hold football program accountable and will focus on it as a priority in the university.
Yeah, I want somebody that says, you know what, all I care about is football. All I care about is making money, and all I care about is winning. Because guess what? Winning, no, I'm so serious. Winning.
You think that's what an esteemed university that's about education is going for?
You think Ohio State president is going to any of these Ivy League schools, Northwestern like the one before, I believe it was Harvard or wherever Biddy Martin went before her?
Harvard.
Now we're talking about Columbia. Listen, lead them goody two smart shoes somewhere else. I want somebody that says, I want to win football games and I want to have the stadium rocking. Do y'all realize UW-Madison, they're claiming because they have an extra home game this year, they're lowering ticket prices next year? Stop it. It's not because of that, because nobody want to go to the games. I want somebody that wants the stadium packed. I want somebody that wants to win football games, and I want somebody that understands the more you win, the more students that will come. And you're already UW-Madison where kids want to enroll. Yes, Alex Strofe to the KBN Sports Desk.
Ted Carter is the president of the Ohio State University, has been that since January 1st of 2024.
Where'd the previous person go?
United States Navy Vice Admiral.
Yeah. Listen,
he was preceded by Christina Johnson, who's an electrical engineer. I don't know what she's doing now.
Yeah, exactly.
Admirals know what's up.
He went somewhere where he can continue to be part of. Heck, didn't they build a program up?
Oh, it must have been kind of controversial because she just halfway through her contract, and sources told the Columbus Dispatch
they lost to Michigan too much.
That Johnson University leaders agreed to not speak publicly about the details surrounding her resignation.
Oh, wow. That means she got fired. They weren't winning enough.
Right. You have seen now what this university and program and the trickle down of the athletic department, what occurs when your football team is struggling. There's real financial implications. There's real application of prospective students, that is on the crux of this. It's too big, Kyle. It's too big of a situation. No longer can you just be an academic. You have to know and appreciate football, and you have to hold everyone accountable. Yeah. Without that, there's no hope.
That's why you hire folks to run different departments. Go ahead, find somebody that wants to invest in the football program and watch the money rain in like a stripper. 800-990-3776. It's Kyle, Brust Nortman, and we'll wrap up hour 2 coming up next.
This is Kyle, Brust Nortman.
I text Greg Scalzo, and I say, Greg, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late to work. I'm caught in an international conspiracy.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Here's the only question that counts. Everything else is crap. Will Ed Policy be able to walk out on the field with Matt LaFleur as the head coach?
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
It could get worse, but can you put that guy in charge of the team and give him an extension?
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
At Saturn Lounge, we know. If your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform. Your storytelling would inspire. Your campaigns would deliver leads that become sales. You wouldn't need a report to tell you. Visit SaturnLounge.com today. When marketing works, it shows.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements.
Marquette fell on the road at Butler, 87-76, dropping the Golden Eagles to 7-14 overall and 2-8 in Big East play. Freshman Nigel James Jr. paced Marquette with 15 points and 8 assists, providing steady leadership on the floor.
Long rebound, Marquette. Long pass. James is free. He'll go to the basket and stuff it with two hands. Great pass.
Great look up the floor by Chase Ross.
Chase Ross threw the long pass.
Yeah.
Probably 80 feet.
The Golden Eagles showed balance offensively, getting 4 players into double figures and made a second-half push that trimmed the margin to 1 possession before Butler pulled away late. Marquette returns home Tuesday night at Fiserv Forum to host Creighton.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements. Visit gomarquette.com/matrix to enter to win 4 tickets to National Marquette Day Saturday, February 7th when Marquette hosts Butler. UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Arrowhead senior and Minnesota commit Natalie Kusow. Kusow etched her name into the record books, becoming the all-time leading scorer in Waukesha County girls basketball history. She followed the record-breaking milestone with a dominant performance in Arrowhead's 77-41 win over Muskego, finishing with 33 points as the Warhawks improved to a perfect 13-0 on the season. Already a Wisconsin Gatorade Player of the Year and a contributor to a state championship track and field team, Kusow continues to lead one of the top programs in Wisconsin while preparing to join the University of Minnesota next season. Congratulations to Natalie Kusow, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
So I don't know if people know this or not. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin.
I have no idea where this is headed.
But we had a flood here. Like, we got flooded. We were swimming with the fishes here at ESPN Wisconsin. Strofe is laughing, but I'm concerned for your health. Strofe, do you?
I might get the black lung.
Yeah, I'm
the black lung.
Because Josh DiMaggio, you hear Josh DiMaggio on Mr. Irrelevant or Irrelevant, whatever show's called. 12:30 to 1:30, I think it is, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But also on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in the morning.
He's such a hater.
7 to 9 a.m. And Josh literally said, I can't be in here too much longer because I'm starting to cough. So if you've been in there for 2 hours. Yeah.
I've been down here for a lot more than 2 hours. I took over for him on Wilde and Tausch.
Yeah, mold is starting to form back
And then I was down here for Mr. Relevant. And now I've been down here for another 2 hours. I feel great. I'm very hydrated.
I know how weak your lungs are based off the wildfire, so I'm very concerned that the mold is going to infiltrate your system.
You can't even get outside for just a gasp of fresh air because it's so cold.
Yeah, I mean, you're stuck. Yeah, your air, everything you're breathing in is going to suck. So, Stroke, will you be here tomorrow or not?
As far as I am aware, yes.
You do know how dangerous black mold can be.
Okay, then why are we working in these conditions?
No, I'm just saying black mold can cause respiratory issues, and you already have bad heart. You got a pig heart.
I do. I guess we'll find out. I feel fine.
Well, I need you here because Ben's gone and Brad will be gone. I need you here this week.
Where's Brad going?
I'm out Friday again.
Where have you been? You're supposed to be on Mr. Irrelevant every Friday.
Wednesday.
Look at us solving all the world's problems. Keep it locked. ESPN Madison has some stuff, and the ESPN Beaver Day. We'll be back.
Well, we got a little bit of a backup on southbound 43 heading through the Marquette interchange. They're saying there is an incident on southbound 43 at the ramp from Wisconsin Avenue off on the right shoulder, so keep an eye out for that. We've also got westbound 94 backing up from just before 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down just a bit from about 76th Street all the way to Hawley Road. And then we've also got eastbound 894 from 92nd Street slowing down past 76th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rising temperatures, chance for flurries, mostly cloudy, a low of 11. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny and cold, a high of 14. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at Bo on KBN.
414.
Yeah.
414.
There, get it.
414.
Okay.
414.
I heard.
414.
KB.
414.
Yeah. Like they said, this is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Milwaukee, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee for our 4 p.m. hour. That is Bradley Nortman, which that was a good 414 hour at 4.
You know what? You told me in the past, Brad, put yourself back there. You're 14 yards back. You're about to punt the football. Get hyped. Put myself back there.
You were good, and I like the way you got up because usually when I get up, I get excited because it's my time to shine.
Yeah.
Brad got up. He dusted himself off. He grabbed the mic. He didn't rush in. He was calm. You got some swagger here.
Yeah, you know, it's
Father Brad got some swag.
That's right. That's right. That's all it took.
Look at that.
A little bit of age and a little bit of swag. And look at me now.
I was very proud of your performance. Very proud of your performance. You can watch and stream us live by going to ESPN Milwaukee on the YouTubes. And Strophy, I believe we have a YouTube poll going up. Who would you rather the Packers DCB, Jonathan Gannon or Jim Leonhard? Now, the decision has already been made, KBN Nation. We already know who it is. Jonathan Gannon is going to be the defensive coordinator, but somehow, some way, a lot of people are still disappointed. A lot of people are still upset, and a lot of people are still asking for Jim Leonhard. As on our poll, if you go to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, 51% is saying Gannon, and 49% is saying Jim Leonhard. And Brad, I'm trying to understand, why do fans want Jim Leonhard so bad still to this point? I get it. He's been a good defensive coordinator. He's been part of good teams. But what has Jim Leonhard done in the NFL that makes you want him over a defensive coordinator who coached in a Super Bowl?
Jim Leonhard checks every box that any coach or player could ever want. He's likable. He can connect with guys. He's played and he's coached at a high level. He had to maximize not only his awareness and smarts of the game, but his own physical prowess. He is somebody that you can trust in the big moments. He's someone that's shown that he can learn college schemes. He can learn pro schemes because he's for the Broncos right now. I think he has the scheme. He has the juice. He has the respect that he should at least have gotten an interview. Matt LaFleur put out this news on Saturday? Was it? Or Friday? Saturday, that Jonathan Gannon was going to be hired as the defensive coordinator. You're telling me that Jonathan Gannon was so much in demand that he couldn't wait 2 days? 2 days to interview Jimmy Leonhard? That's all I'm asking for, is give Jimmy Leonhard a chance, because I think he has the opportunity to do and to be somebody special. Talk about somebody that can grow into the role and can be excited and be able to get the guys going. I think Jimmy Leonhard would do that. He'd put them in the right position. I think Jonathan Gannon will be fine. He'll be good. He might even be great.
Come on, man.
But
listen.
I think Jimmy Leonhard would have been an absolute home run, knock it out of the park, and Matt LaFleur, he jumped the gun. He didn't wait 2 days. He was so afraid that Jonathan Gannon he'd go to the prom with somebody else, that Matt LaFleur was scared that he would go to the prom single, so he jumped on it too quickly before even interviewing Jim.
Y'all so mad over this proximity of Jim Leonhard. And again, the thing that I hate about this is that I now am going to be on social media, on ESPN Milwaukee social media accounts, the 414 Kyle Wallace social media accounts on Instagram. I have become the villain. I have become the person that doesn't like Jim Leonhard. I hate being in that position because I legitimately.
Join my side.
No. Listen. I appreciate Jim Leonhard, but what we have to understand here is that Jim Leonhard clearly did not give the Packers the green light of saying, hey, if you interview me, I want to be there. And with not having that reassurance of knowing that if we decide to wait, if we take a risk and a chance of waiting for Jim Leonhard to interview him, that is not going to end up getting him here, right? And then we're in the same situation we're in with Joe Barry. And I just feel like a lot of people want Jim Leonhard for the right reasons, but with that, a lot of people now are bashing Jonathan Gannon as if he can't be a great hire. There's nothing that says that Jim Leonhard was going to be a perfect fit for this Green Bay Packers football team. So again, I just don't understand why so many people are allowing their want and desire to have Jim Leonhard as a defensive coordinator, as we have here, Ray on the Carbless Talking text line at 800-990-3776, where less is more. You can come in and chime in on the conversation, call in or text in. Ray said he's unproven at the NFL level as a DC. You're talking about hiring a first-time defensive coordinator in the NFL ranks. And again, not saying he won't be good, but for a team that is this close to a Super Bowl, I mean, the Packers, for me, are very, very close. A good offseason, picking up some great pieces to bring some reinforcements to that defensive line, specifically in the cornerback position. The Packers could be playing on February 14th, I believe it is, next season in a Super Bowl. And why sit there and risk it with a guy where you don't know what you're going to get from being a leader of men as a guy, as a defensive coordinator, versus Gannon, where you know what he's been able to do. He's coached in the Super Bowl. He did so well where he ended up becoming a head coach in the NFL. It didn't work out the best for him, but he has proven that he can get the most out of guys. What is so wrong with getting a proven commodity?
Well, Jonathan Gannon, he was a D coordinator for 2 seasons. It's not like he's been a 10-year NFL D coordinator, so he has experience in the role, but he wasn't calling the plays on defense at Arizona. He had somebody else do that. So it's not like Jonathan Gannon. He has a lot of general experience, but as a D coordinator, he had 2 years of it. And it's not like Jim Leonard's experience as a player for a decade was of no value when it comes to coaching. Like, especially from a safety position, you have to know where everyone is. You have to know situations. So I do think he reaps a lot of benefit from his playing career. He almost gets fast-tracked to coaching because he had to be so cerebral when it comes to how he played. So let me ask you this, Kyle. Let's say the Broncos lost against the Bills and Jim Leonard was fully available to interview for the Green Bay Packers job. Would you have preferred to see Jonathan Gannon or Jim Leonard, assuming Jim Leonard got the interview?
UW, I wouldn't have had a preference. I mean,
come on, Kyle.
I like Jimmy Leonard. Like, I'm going to be very transparent. I have a soft spot from Jimmy Leonard simply because Jim Leonard coached at Wisconsin. I love my Wisconsin Badgers. But at the end of the day, I do believe that Jonathan Gannon is currently the better defensive coordinator based off what I have seen on the NFL level. And we cannot shortchange him for what he did. Just because the Eagles defense had talent that he helped cultivate and grow doesn't mean he didn't put him in a position to get 70 sacks. You don't just get 70 sacks just because you have talent. No, you get 70 sacks because guys can scheme you in those positions. And I do believe Jeff Hafley did a great job of scheming up great team defense. He did a great job of motivating these guys. Now you take these guys who we've already said they need to grow up. And I think they're ready to lead. I think a Micah Parsons year 2 will be ready to lead. I think a Xavier McKinney year 3 on this defense will be ready to lead. I think a guy like Evan Williams and Javon Bullard and Edgerrin Cooper will all be ready to lead. So I think he has a group of young, talented people who are hungry, who have experience, who are ready to burst out this season. So that's why I think Jonathan Gannon, when he's going to have these different guys to put in a position to be successful, I think he would do that simply of what he was able to do when he was the Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator. I don't want the Arizona time to mess with our minds. As Stroh said before, just because you're not a good head coach doesn't mean you're not a great defensive coordinator, because guess what? When you're looking over there with the Denver Broncos, who I think played a good game yesterday defensively, Vance Joseph is a failed head coach. But what did he do? He put together a really good defense. So you see it. Robert Saleh with the 49ers. He failed as a head coach, was a really good DC again, and now he has a job again in Tennessee. So you see that all the time. So I don't want us to hold the Arizona time against him because he's not the head coach of this team. He's a defensive coordinator.
I think Jim Leonard is getting discounted for all the years he spent for the Wisconsin Badgers. And the reason why he spent that long was he thought he was going to be the next head coach. If he would have leapt right into the NFL, Jim Leonard would be a D coordinator, if not an NFL head coach at this point.
Yeah,
he spent probably, 6 years at Wisconsin? If he would have went right to the NFL, he'd easily be a D coordinator, if not an absolute head coach. And that's just where I go back. Maybe Jonathan Gannon, maybe he's slightly better at Jim Leonard when it comes to NFL scheming. But there is two roles that they both did that were able to evaluate them on. They were both head coaches, Jim Leonard of the Badgers and Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals. And to me, it was clear that being able to lead men, inspire people to play, have them play hard, it's clear that Jim Leonard was able to connect with them.
But they didn't even hire him. They hired Luke Fickell.
That is.
They hired Luke Fickell.
Now,
he wasn't even good enough. Mac had an up close and personal scene. This ain't a shot at Jim Leonard because I thought Jim Leonard was going to be the guy. I get it, but Mac had an up close and personal opportunity with Jim Leonard. He got an audition, and Jim Leonard took him from being under 500 to finishing 7-6, and Mac still said, "Give me Luke Fickell." And so again, I wanted to have Jimmy Leonard, and I wasn't mad about Luke Fickell, but again, that's what happened. But 800-990-3776, that is the Carbless Talking text line where less is more. And we want to know, if you aren't happy about the hire of Jonathan Gannon, please let me know why. And if you are somebody who's on the Gannon bandwagon, you're Gannon for I don't know how our
Gannon wagon?
The Gannon wagon?
I don't know.
If you're on the Gannon wagon, the Gann wagon. If you're on the Gann wagon, again, you can hit us up at 800-990-3776.
Google for Gannon?
Google for Gannon. We want to hear from you. You can also watch and stream us live on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, as we have a poll up currently right now. And the poll asks KBN Nation, who would you rather be the DC of the Packers, Jonathan Gannon and Jimmy Leonard? And right now, Jim Leonard has taken the lead at 51% to 49%. It is a barn burner.
Crazy for JG.
Let's see if Jason in Hale's Corner is crazy for JG. You're on Kyle Brust Nortman.
You don't do it right.
Hey, thanks, guy, for taking my call. First time caller.
Thanks for calling.
I am definitely on the Jonathan. Yeah, no problem. I'm definitely on the Jonathan Gannon.
Say it. I'm crazy for JG.
Bandwagon. Yeah, I'm crazy for JG, baby.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Leonard. I know he's a Wisconsin guy. I love him to death, but I want somebody who's been to the Super Bowl and has schemed Super Bowl defenses for the Green Bay Packers. He's going to come in with he's going to hold these guys accountable. He's going to get these guys in the right spots, in the right places, so that we can get those 70 sacks, so we can get those, interceptions and turnovers that we desperately need on our defense. And I just think this is a great matchup. Yeah, unfortunately, but Jim Leonard, how do we know that Sean Payton would have let him go? Because don't they have an issue down in Denver too, where they might be their DC may be going as a head coach. I think he's getting some offers, and Jim Leonard could be the next DC for Denver.
Ding dong.
And
that is the biggest concern.
That would be an attractive job. The DC for the Denver Broncos, they are loaded with talent.
Yeah, when you're already on the staff.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think when it comes down to it, that's true, and there's maybe more behind the scenes that we don't know. I just with Jimmy Leonard would have gotten his opportunity because I think he'd be a great fit here in the Packers. This is no disrespect to JG. However, Jonathan Gannon would be a great schemer. I don't think he can lead men quite like Jimmy Leonard can. I wish I would have seen Jimmy Leonard get his chance. I just hope that Matt LaFleur made this decision because he genuinely thought Jonathan Gannon was the best possible candidate, not that he was the best candidate at the time and he couldn't wait any longer. There's a big difference. I don't want to see him regretting this in a way that I don't think they're going to be bad or even average. I think they're going to be pretty good under Gannon. I'm just concerned that we look forward in 4 years and say, you know what? Jimmy Leonard did it again. He did it again. He's leading the top defense and he's well on his way to being a head coach. That is what I foresee. But time will tell, and you trust Matt LaFleur to make these head coaching decisions. So.
I do. I trust Matt LaFleur. He got it right with Jeff Hafley, did it not?
He did get it right with Jeff Hafley.
He got it wrong with Joe Barry, and he definitely figured it out. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line where less is more, and I see y'all coming in with the text. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We want to get your reaction to Jonathan Gannon being hired as a defensive coordinator. Should the Packers have waited for Jimmy Leonard? Some say yes. I say no. Mo in Illinois, your turn to go.
So, Kyle, I talked to you yesterday on Sunday Karma.
What up, Mo?
What's up, man? I wasn't the biggest fan, but upon further review, I've kind of settled down a little bit. I think I'm kind of getting on the bandwagon a little bit with Gannon. But my whole point was, and I heard Wilde talking about it today on Wilde and Tausch with Balaga. He was asking, why do so many Packers fans care about a guy who brings toughness rather than what scheme he brings? And I guess my point is, I told you yesterday, I want some juice, damn it. I want some juice on this team. Did you guys see the Seattle Seahawks yesterday? Did you see that defense flying around? This Packers team this past season, I felt like they lacked that juice, that toughness.
They had it early, though, Mo, didn't they? They had it early. They had it early in the season. The Dallas Cowboys game was bad, but it seemed like it kind of faded away. They were flying around early in the season, weren't they, Mo?
Yeah, the first 2 games, yeah, but I could say I had a six-pack last year. What happened right now? I've been eating cupcakes and donuts, and I'm not locked in.
Oh, wow.
So it's like you need to have sustained success. I'm going to see this defense the entire season fly around, and that's what I want to see out of Gannon. He needs to bring that out of these players because this Packers defense was charming ultra soft towards the end of the year. I mean, damn it, we sent out an Amber Alert for Rashawn Gary for the past few months. We know that. We've been talking about it all season long. So I need some juice, damn it. Give me some juice.
Let's go,
Give
Mo.
him some juice.
Let's go.
Get him some Pedialyte to hydrate him.
To Mo's point, which I think he said very, very well. You need some juice in the coaching staff with your players, and you're not going to get it out of Matt LaFleur. You're just not. So that is one of the reasons why I feel like Jim Leonard, again, is a good one. Because I don't think Gannon's that guy. I think he's a schemer. I think they're going to be in the right spot. I think they're going to be really effective.
Come on now. Dude's crazy. All these sound bites, he's crazy. He punched the guy. He's crazy.
So Gannon, you want to be leading the troops out there.
Yeah, I want. Listen,
you think they're going to get juice from
Rashawn,
Gannon?
you better pew to the quarterback. Lucas Van Ness, you better pew swim around and get to the quarterback. He is unique. He's creative with the Okie front that he had with Philadelphia Eagles.
Kyle,
I was doing some research on
that.
No, I believe that Philadelphia did. Matter of fact, Brad, 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line where less is more. You can call in. You can text in as we react to Jonathan Gannon being hired as a defensive coordinator. We want to hear from you. And Jason said, as an Eagles fan for 36 years, you're going to love Gannon's defense. Guy is a stud defensive coordinator. That is Jason in the 920. And so again,
that's a good endorsement, Jason. It's a good endorsement.
What I don't understand is that if Jim Leonard wasn't on the table, right? Take Jim Leonard out. Okay. Jim Leonard, Vance Joseph.
Hard to do, but
wait. Vance Joseph is leaving, and they know Jim Leonard's going to be the next defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. If Jim Leonard's not an option, are y'all mad now? Are you still mad? Are you mad that the Packers got a guy that coached in the Super Bowl? Are you mad that a guy led a top 10 defense? Are you mad at a guy who was able to develop guys? Like, we wouldn't be mad. It's simply we're upset because we didn't get the guy that we wanted. That's what it is. We're throwing a fit because we didn't get the guy that we wanted. But at the end of the day, if the Packers coming off of Joe Barry, if the Packers hired a guy that came off of coaching in the Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator, we would all be jumping for joy right now.
I'm not mad about it. If Jim Leonard was off the table, I just wish Jim Leonard would have gotten a shot. But if he is assumed remove, I think Al Harris would have been a good hire. I think Jonathan Gannon's a good hire. I don't want Raheem Morris because I don't want Matt LaFleur's buddy on the team. I think he wants someone to push him more than that. Yep. But I wouldn't be mad about it. I would say that's a good hire. I think the defense is going to be quite good underneath Mr. Gannon.
Frank in Port Washington. Shout out to our Pirates up there in Port Washington. You are on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. What are your thoughts on Jonathan Gannon, our defensive coordinator?
Well, Brad just repeated it for about the third time. He wishes Jimmy Leonard would have gotten a shot. I believe Jimmy Leonard got a shot and turned the job down.
Saying right now or back in 2021?
Yeah.
Life expects when they turn down a job that they're going to get a chance for that job again. I mean, it happens occasionally.
Well, to be fair, he thought he was going to be the head coach of the Badgers and not to take a DC role. But you're right. I mean, but it shows that Matt LaFleur liked him back then. If Matt LaFleur liked him back then, Matt LaFleur would like him even more now. So that's true. Jim Leonard did turn him down. He got asked out, and he said, no, I'm not interested. You're not my type. But I think that reflects that Matt LaFleur trusts him a lot. But circumstances have changed. And I think that when changing circumstances occur, maybe a different conclusion would be able to arise. But maybe Matt LaFleur said, like how Kyle Wallace said, you turn me down once, you ain't getting asked a second time.
Oh, no, never that. If you turn me down once, you getting a second chance, but just know it's going to be short-lived. I'm in it for me at that point. Once I get what I want, it's over. 800-990-3776. Man, you all are reacting to the new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, being hired over Jim Leonard. And are you disappointed that the Packers didn't even enter Jim Leonard? Before it was they didn't call Devontae Adams. Now Devontae Adams is crying next to his locker in the NFC Championship game. Now Jim Leonard did not get hired from the Packers. Will we also be questioning whether or not he should have waited from Jim Leonard? Is Jim Leonard somehow a defensive coordinator in NFL next year, coaching in an AFC or NFC championship? We'll continue this conversation on the other side. But before we do, you already know what it is. It's cold outside. Burr, burr, burr. And if your windows are sucking in a little of that cold air, I have the perfect solution for you. It's working with my friends at Universal Windows Direct. In January, they have an offer that you love because you'll save big. Right now, when you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free. That's one of the biggest offers they've ever done. And with 0% interest financing for 60 months, you can spread out your payments over 5 years. Same as cash without a penny of interest. But wait, it gets even better. You'll get $1,000 off your entire project, plus a little something to look forward to as a vacation voucher. Yep, they'll give you a vacation voucher through Destination Motivation with every purchase you have. So go ahead and call them today at 414-410-2000 or visit them at universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. We'll continue this conversation on the other side. Are you mad at Matt LaFleur? Do you trust Matt LaFleur to get it right? Should he have waited for Jim Leonard? Some say yes, some say no. We'll continue to take your calls and texts coming up next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
These hands are not made for fixing anything in a house. I'll make a phone call, and I'm cheap, but I ain't that cheap. I got my guys. Got my handyman. Shout out to Chris. Under the table.
Just like that, dude's getting audited now.
Yeah.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound 43, right at the Febrance on-ramp. Looks like we've got a broken down vehicle. They say it's out of traffic, but it looks like it might be in traffic. So just be careful if you're heading through there. Southbound 43 slowing down right through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge all the way down to the KK River crossing. Westbound 94 slowing from 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then a little bit more of a delay westbound from Moreland Road towards Calhoun. On the eastbound side, backing up from 84th Street all the way to Holly Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rising temperatures, chance for flurries, mostly cloudy, a low of 11. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny and cold, a high of 14. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Great, have a great regular season. What are you going to do in the postseason? This Matt LaFleur era is now basically evolved into regular season. You're going to be fine. Hopefully you can be better than what you've been.
Yeah, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
But you're going to get in the dance, and then it's going to be, can you do it when the money's on the table? Certainly not the last 2 years.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Chancellor's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
you're going to be happy, happy, happy.
And with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
or a better diamond
or a better price
has never been to Chancellor's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
if you bought it at Chancellor's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Chancellor's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
The Milwaukee Weight Loss Program has been able to change the lives of thousands of people with this incredible metabolic reset program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. There's no better time than now to give yourself the gift of a new you in this new year. Schedule your free consultation now by visiting MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Homer here. I'm starting 2026 off right with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Their team is full of great people who listen to me and my goals through the consultation process. Their program is the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day, and many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call for your free weight loss consultation, 262-235-3980, 262-235-3980, or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
This is Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. Monster Jam trucks team up with FMX bikes for the ultimate freestyle experience. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the teams, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks and bikes up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Fiserv Forum this weekend.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, KBN Nation, some of y'all's up in arms with the hire of Jonathan Gannon as the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. This is Kyle Brust Nortman on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman. Alex Stroke holding it down behind the glass. And I feel like a lot of the The eerie towards Jonathan Gannon has more to do with Matt LaFleur not interviewing Jim Leonard more so than actually not being happy with Jonathan Gannon.
I just hope that every great qualified candidate was thought of and that Matt LaFleur chose Jonathan Gannon because he was the best possible candidate across the whole landscape, not just rushing it because out of fear that he might go somewhere else.
One thing that surprised me, and maybe more will come out in the coming days, but we didn't know Hafley was leaving for Miami until last Monday officially was when it was announced. And they made a hire on Sunday. So that's 6 days or 5 days effectively between Tuesday and Saturday that they were able to do interviews and whittle down who they thought the best
Only
candidate
4
was.
this time around, correct?
Well, so that's the point I was going to make, Kyle, is it's only 4 confirmed interviews. When Joe Barry was hired, including Joe Barry, there was 10 candidates interviewed. When Jeff Hafley was hired, including Jeff Hafley, there were 7 candidates interviewed. This time around, Jonathan Gannon, we only know of 4, which includes Gannon, 3 others.
Do we know the other 3? The guy that went to Dallas.
Yeah,
Christian Parker, former connected to the Packers.
Durante Jones. From
was
the
the
Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
And why am I blanking on the 4th?
Al Harris.
Al Harris, thank you very much. Nicely done.
It's interesting that Gannon was the only guy that was at DC at some point. All the rest of the guys are climbing through the ranks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're up and comers.
Yeah.
That is correct. That is correct evaluation by you. Now, there may have been some internal candidates, right? DeMarcus Covington, who's currently their defensive line coach.
Would have been a bad decision.
He was the defensive coordinator of the Patriots last year.
Yeah, who sucked.
That's right.
So if had they looked internally, which I imagine they might have, Ryan Downard, another guy who Jason brought up, he just went halfway to Miami.
Can we admit that nobody expected Ryan Downard? It wasn't even a name on our radar.
No, it was a name on the radar because he's a defensive backs coach.
It was your radar? You were thinking he was a guy that...
If there was going to be an internal promotion, he was the one
I heard DeMarcus, but I didn't hear about
DeMarcus because of his experience, Ryan Downard because of the path. And you'll notice it's a big thing both in the National Football League overall, but for LaFleur when it comes to defensive coordinators. He likes guys that came up defensive backs coaches.
Well, is he, or is that just the last 2?
The last 2, but... Also, it's just a big thing in the NFL right now. Christian Parker, defensive backs. Al Harris, defensive backs. Yeah. Durante Jones, defensive backs.
Yeah.
I do.
And Jonathan Gannon was a defensive backs coach.
I'm not sure I trust Matt LaFleur implicitly to make a coaching hire.
See, that's why I'm so confused about that.
However, I will say, I think he knows schemes very well. And everything about Jonathan Gannon said he has an excellent scheme. So that's like
played
one
him
thing
twice,
for me
I want to say.
He might not be able to get juice out of guys, which is a concern for me, especially when there's not a firm culture and there's no like tough guy, whether it be head coach or anywhere on the staff. But Matt LaFleur knows schemes, and he also knows which schemes on defense are really hard to go against. And that leads me to believe that he probably knew a thing or two about who he was looking for as far as like, who do I hate game planning against? I'm guessing Jonathan Gannon was on that list.
Yeah, see, the reason why I disagree with that premise of the fact that, Matt LaFleur, I don't trust him to get coordinators. I mean, listen, you don't get everything, right? Look at Philadelphia. Listen. Sirianni will fire you in a heartbeat. He ain't playing around. But when we look at who the Packers have had, so he hired Joe Barry. That was a failure. But he hired Jeff Hafley. This seemed to be a great success because he now is a coach in Miami. Offensive coordinator. He hired Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett went on to become the Denver Broncos coach. Now, it wasn't successful, but he went on to become the head coach for the Denver Broncos. Now, Adam Stenavich, he promoted. He didn't bring him from the outside in. And Steno is a finalist for the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator position. So, Rich Bisaccia, listen, I will keep saying it. Y'all want to? I'm not going to play Monday morning quarterback. Just like with Jim Leonard not getting hired at Wisconsin, I wanted Jim Leonard, but I wasn't mad at Luke Fickell because of his track record. Wasn't nobody here complaining about they hired Rich Bisaccia. We were applauding it. We were happy that they hired Rich. It hasn't turned out, but he went for a big swing and he ended up getting a good guy. Just now, you go for another big swing, and what happened? You got a guy who has head coaching experience and a guy that's coaching the Super Bowl. So I believe that Matt LaFleur, Joe Barry ruined him. That one hire, Joe Barry, and hanging on for him too long.
Yeah, that was the other part.
That ruined him.
A bad hire can be forgiven. It's just making the adjustment when you realize it's not a very good hire.
And so, I get that. You can't hold on too long. But when I look at it, I think he's done a good job. I think he's batting pretty well. But 800-990-3776. We're still taking your reactions to the fact that Jeff Hafley left to go to Miami, and the Packers replaced him with not Jimmy Leonard, and didn't even interview Jimmy Leonard, with Jonathan Gannon. You can react on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. That is ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and join the conversation. And my little nerd part that I want to get into before we get into Wheel of Strofe is one thing that with this hire, I don't want to see Quay Walker come back. I don't want to see Quay Walker come back because in order to have a great leader on this defense, you got to have somebody who is more than just a superior athlete. And what I see from Quay Walker is in the defense that Jonathan Gannon wants to run, TJ Edwards, let me tell you, TJ Edwards, just like all Wisconsin linebackers, none of them are superior athletes. They're all technically sound, and they're all intelligent and smart. I mean, every single one of them are very smart. That's why they find a way to make it in the NFL somehow, because they have a lot of intelligence on top of just being good football players. To run this defense, I need a guy not like Quay Walker who can just fly around. I need a leader on the defense. I need somebody that can communicate. I need somebody that can look at what we need in set fronts and know what everybody has to do. That green dot is important. I don't think Quay Walker will be able to wear the green dot in this defense, and I want for Edgerrin Cooper to be freed up to fly around, to ball out. So whatever the Packers do, move on from Quay Walker and work with Jonathan Gannon to identify somebody who may be smarter than what they are an athlete, but somebody who's capable of being a starter in the NFL, because I think that is what this defense will need moving forward under what Gannon wants to do, because Gannon, different fronts, different style of defense that he's going to play, and you got to have somebody that can communicate and lead guys, and I don't think that's what Quay Walker did. And with this defense, knowing what it looks like he's going to bring, you want to bring in somebody that's intelligent to lead the defense.
I think that's a really good take. The other thing is, it's one thing if Quay Walker is under contract and you could find a way for him. You're going to have to bring him back at a premium deal. I mean, he's going to go on the market, and he's going to get probably
$14 million a year?
Yeah,
$12 million a year?
More than $10 million a year. I don't know if he's worth that. So I think that not only will there be a complexion change when it comes to personnel, but it's an opportunity to do a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a hard self-scout, because that's exactly what Jonathan Gannon's going to do. Who do I like? Who is worth keeping? Who is going to fit my scheme? Because even Jason said, Jason said that Jonathan Gannon said a while back, I don't have a scheme. I fit my scheme into my personnel. That's true. That's a good sign out of a coach. However, there is a desired scheme. There is a scheme that he thinks is good. And do I have the guys that's able to maybe have the range then of skills that I need to be able to pull off whatever scheme I want to do and game plan against whatever offense I'm going against? So I just don't see how Quay Walker is worth that kind of price tag. He's athletic. He can hit hard, but it's going to be something to where, I'm not sure that ages well. And I think you're right. You have to have someone who's smart, instinctual, and is able to do more than just be a missile. And if you want to be a missile in 2026, then you have to go visit my friends at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. You've got that joint pain. Your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, wherever it is probably feeling it even more in this cold. And you can be one of the 40,000 people, think about that, 40,000 people, that's a small city, who have went to QC Kinetics, who have given themselves a fresh start, and now are living a pain-free life. We're right here in Milwaukee, in Mequon, and in Greenfield, to where QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving you cellular treatments without surgery, without drugs, without downtime, a natural solution to get rid of that inflammation and bring your body to ease. But it's on you to take the first step. You have to give them a call for your free consultation. They're going to put you on a personal path to a pain-free life. Give QC Kinetics a call today at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
The Wheel of Strofe is next, and we got some hot topics we're going to be talking about. Keep it locked. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman as the Wheel of Strofe will be good.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
If his butts are candies and nuts, we could have a party.
See, I
you
got
were
nuts.
Way off.
I said if and butts were penis and nuts, and then I didn't know the rest.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound 43, right at the Febrance on-ramp. Looks like we've got a broken down vehicle. They say it's out of traffic, but it looks like it might be in traffic. So just be careful if you're heading through there. Southbound 43 slowing down right through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge all the way down to the KK River crossing. Westbound 94 slowing from 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then a little bit more of a delay westbound from Moreland Road towards Calhoun. On the eastbound side, backing up from 84th Street all the way to Holly Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rising temperatures, chance for flurries, mostly cloudy, a low of 11. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny and cold, a high of 14. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk, cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
At Saturn Lounge, we know. If your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform. Your storytelling would inspire. Your campaigns would deliver leads that become sales. You wouldn't need a report to tell you. Visit SaturnLounge.com today. When marketing works, it shows.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
If you are freezing cold in your house because your windows aren't working, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you. Work with my friends at Universal Windows Direct. I'm telling y'all, it is so great to have great new windows. Before, I thought my windows were okay, but then I got UWD windows, and literally all I do is close the doors in the bedroom, and when I walk in the room, I'm like, it doesn't even feel like it's negative 15 outside. Why? It's because I have a great windows that keep the warm air inside. And right now, when you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free. And that's one of the biggest offers that they have. Plus, on top of that, you get 60 months of interest-free payments, $1,000 off your next project. And when you work with them, they'll give you a free vacation voucher. I'm telling you, you'll love your windows, you'll love the price, and you'll love your vacation as well. Call them today at 414-410-2000 or visit them at universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. It is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, and you already know what time it is. It's time for the Wheel of Strofe.
It's time for the
Wheel of Strofe.
Another day. another buckaroonie on the wheel of Strofe. I've got topics and opinions and things.
There's that juice.
Yeah.
Ben's gone.
Wow.
Here we go. Wheel of Strofe.
Wheel of Strofe. Wow, that wheel has seen better days.
Why don't we ask? I'm going to ask Greg Scalzo, our Vice President and Market Manager, for $26 for
Expense it?
Yeah.
He'd probably say no if it's related to me. I want to talk about this because it's something we've kind of glazed over, discussing the defensive coordinator hire. Sorry, I had a Grundy there. I got to fix that.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what a Grundy is? It's like a wedgie.
Why'd you say that?
My undergarments were a little uncomfortable.
You still wearing whitey tighties?
Flying back?
No, I wear boxers.
Yeah. Well, long back. He's right. What's going on? You got a long back. How does it get caught back there?
So they're clawing back.
Oh, clawing.
His underwear's clawing
Okay, I'm
back
uncomfortable now.
You're the one who told us.
What do we think's going on with the Packers offensive coordinator Adam Stenavich? So he interviewed today for I believe the second time with Tennessee to become their play caller under Robert Saleh, who he worked 2 years with in San Francisco. I'm starting to get the impression that we might have a Matt Nagy Chiefs situation on our hands. Meaning,
Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy was interviewing for head coaching jobs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs allowed him to go seek those, and then ultimately said, yeah, he's not coming back. We're bringing back Eric Bieniemy, and Matt Nagy's no longer going to be a Chief.
Crazy. And they sent him a thank you letter, too.
I have a feeling we might be operating in similar waters in regards to the Packers offensive coordinator, Adam Stenavich, but curious on your opinions on that situation.
It's not often that you have a visceral memory of critical moments of KBN, and one of those critical moments was Alex Strofe bringing forth an analogy of a mother bird and a baby bird. Mother bird, Matt LaFleur, baby bird, Adam Stenavich, trying to just will him out of the nest to go fly on his own. But I tell you what, if that bird ain't going to fly, that's when the bird just takes its legs and kicks him right out of the nest. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
It's more a wing, isn't it? It's more you wing it out.
Yeah. I guess the wing is more powerful than those scrawny little chicken legs that they have. But I do think that's the case. I think there needs to be change. I think there's been too much status quo on the offense. Jordan Love, the weapons they have, they're too good not to be operating at a higher level. Someone needs to challenge Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is trying to do him a solid, but I don't see how there's no shakeup. There has to be, and Steno's going to be the guy.
Yeah, if Matt LaFleur is smart, he would definitely go ahead and kick him out the nest and really give him a ringing endorsement of moving on and going to Tennessee. I would hope. I don't know, so I can't say I do believe. I would hope there is going to be a full evaluation, and based off reports that Rob Demoski had earlier today, is that they're still having conversations about the offensive coordinator position. They're still evaluating that. So for all fans who are disappointed that they haven't moved on from Stenavich yet, don't be so disappointed. I think this week will be as we turn our attention from defensive coordinator. We know that Rich Bisaccia is probably coming back. Now all eyes are on Adam Stenavich and what they decide to do with the offensive side of the ball.
I like it.
Wheel of Strofe.
It sounds like a motorcycle revving up.
It does. It's going to fly right off its hinge one of these things.
It will indeed. It will indeed. Jason mentioned this a bit earlier. Is nobody going to be the Browns head coach? Everybody's pulling their name out. I don't even know who's left. The Browns might not have a head coach.
It's the names left are
Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz, who's the current defensive coordinator, which is odd. Anthony Lynn, who was a former offensive coordinator and head coach of the Chargers. They had the young kid, the offensive coordinator, or not offensive coordinator. I think he's a quarterback's coach. I can't say his last name.
Yeah, for the Broncos.
No. From the Rams. Shalazi.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of the other name. I just saw it up. Things have turned for the worse.
I don't know who'd want to go there. They are chaotic. They're drama. You've got a dead cap quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Looks like he'll maybe never play again. You don't have any other plan that's a realistic plan at quarterback. It's the narrative is mostly there's only 32 head coaching jobs, so you take it no matter what it is if it opens up. The one lone exception might be the Browns. It is It is a dumpster fire.
And by the
everywhere you
way,
look.
speaking of the Browns, that next head coach will have the opportunity to coach Pro Bowl quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Announced today as Drake May's replacement. We still await to see who Sam Darnold's replacement will be in the NFC.
So how far down the list did he have to go? You have to go. I mean, he was top half in the AFC when it comes to
before.
Well, because
the Pro Bowl voting
Mahomes
fans
got hurt, so we got passed up.
Yep.
May's gone.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
He must be. He's injured.
He's got to be above Trevor Lawrence.
No, Joe Burrow.
No Trevor Lawrence.
It's just. I mean,
it's about the money, baby.
Justin Herbert.
Guess what?
The Pro Bowl's broken.
People, 100%.
Makes zero sense whatsoever.
You know when I knew this was broken, and when Rashawn Gary became a Pro Bowler, Bo's hurt too.
Yes.
Became a Pro Bowler. Once he became a Pro Bowler, I said,
But Gary wasn't a replacement. He was just a straight up Pro Bowler.
That's what I knew. That's what I knew was a problem. I said, something ain't right with this. They should. Why don't they just go? Why didn't guys want to play football anymore?
Well, you're not trying to get hurt in a meaningless game.
Well, okay, I guess it is a.
That's why they changed it to being more of just like skills challenge.
I mean, watching
flag football, right?
Watching it in Hawaii was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. But now they're. I mean, is it in Vegas this year or Orlando?
Tampa, Orlando.
Yeah,
I think it's in Orlando.
Orlando.
I don't know.
Brad, were you
It's
ever a Pro
broken.
Bowler?
No,
I was never a Pro Bowler.
But you went to a Pro Bowl once, didn't you?
J.J. Jansen, still the long snapper of the Carolina Panthers. He went to a Pro Bowl, and as a thank you, he paid for me and Lexi to go out there with him.
Is
his
he
family?
Is he retiring anytime soon, or he is?
He's been doing a lot of media the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've talked to him a little bit. He's working his way into radio as well, local Charlotte radio.
Wow.
He called me for some insight.
He's trying to be like you.
He went to the same media thing at the NFL that I did.
Well, tell JJ if he wants any tips, I can give him some.
What are you going to tell him? What would you tell JJ Jansen?
I'm gonna say JJ be as controversial as possible.
Wow.
No,
that would be JJ's brand.
Hand up. I don't try to be controversial. I just speak my mind.
And you end up being controversial.
Yeah, who would have thought?
You know who's never controversial?
Oh, Brian Bulaga. He sure is, and he's coming up next here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. We'll see what he thinks about the hire of Jonathan Gannon as defensive coordinator. Keep it locked. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Milwaukee.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Is one of the things that your girlfriend gets upset with is you interrupting her like this?
Probably. I just complimented you. What the hell?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Here's the only question that counts. Everything else is crap. Will and policy be able to walk out on the field with Matt LaFleur as the head coach?
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
It could get worse, but can you put that guy in charge of the team and give him an extension?
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. You know that saying, new year, new you. Well, how about new year, new home upgrade? Universal Windows Direct has a January offer that's all about starting strong and saving big. Right now, when you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free, and that's one of the biggest offers they've ever done, and with 0% interest financing for 60 months. You'll also get $1,000 off your entire project, plus a vacation voucher with every purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf & Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust and Nortman here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman. And joining us now is future Packers Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion Brian Bulaga. How you doing, Brian? No Ben today.
Oh, I'm good. How are you guys? What, has he got the flu or something?
No, he's out traveling. He's on vacation.
Gallivanting, Brian.
Nice. Must be nice.
Must be nice, especially when it's negative 40 out around these parts. But, Brian, the Packers have their defensive coordinator. Is he a good hire?
I like the hire. And maybe I'm in the minority with Packer fans because I understand that they wanted Jim Leonard. Right, I understand that. That was the hire that everyone wanted, but I like this hire. He's got a track record. It's proven as a defensive coordinator. He's coached Super Bowl caliber defenses. He's made those decisions, made those calls on the fly as a coordinator in the NFL in high pressure situations. He's a young guy. He's been coaching for over 20 years, and he's only 43 or 44, something like that.
43.
Yeah, so he's got a ton of experience, and he was a very good coordinator in Philly. And I think what I look at this too is he's been coordinating against what we have now seen the two best teams in the NFC for the last few years. He's played them twice a year. He's had to coordinate against them twice a year. And Philly and LA aren't going not Philly. Seattle and LA aren't going anywhere. So bringing in his knowledge and having him as a coordinator that has gone against these teams and has schemed against them and has done it consistently, I like it. And I understand people may not love, I guess, without even really having the guy do a press conference or the media even speaking to him yet, like are judging him based on a video of him giving a team talk to the Cardinals as the head coach. It's, I think he's going to be that type of coordinator that is a little more of a brainiac. He has that feel to him. And when you're going against the likes of Ben Johnson and those types of guys, there's nothing wrong with that. Having a guy that maybe from a defensive coordinator standpoint looks at it a different way, right? Looks at it a different way, maybe is a lot more calculated with certain things. And to me, that's why I like this hire. I think he's going to be good for this defense and what they're trying to do.
Brian, what would you tell Coach Gannon is the first thing he needs to address on this defense as he walks through the door of the Green Bay Packers?
Well, we got to figure out who's going to play defensive line. I think that's a good start because obviously Micah's going to be out for a little bit, start the season. I think everyone's assuming, we don't know, but we're assuming Rashawn Gary will be gone, right? I think Bari may not be back as a free agent. So we're missing edge rushers to start the season, which is kind of a big deal. So it would be, how are we going to figure out how we're going to apply pressure to the quarterback without Micah until he gets back? And to me, that is the biggest issue because we can talk about corner, but the corners are going to get chewed up no matter who they are if the quarterback has 4.5, 5 seconds to sit back there and throw the football. So to me, that's the biggest issue for them going into this offseason defensively because who's rushing the passer until Micah gets 100% healthy and back?
We're speaking with Brian Bulaga here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Now, Brian, something about Jonathan Gannon people have talked about is the versatility that he has with the defensive schemes that he has. How does having a defense that plays with multiple different fronts impact the preparation for an offense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes things difficult if coaches, and defenses can jump in and out of 3-down personnel, 4-down personnel. But I don't think you want to live in that world as a defensive coach all the time where you're flopping back and forth from, core principles, right? Like you want your guys to be really good at one thing and then, maybe change it up every now and again. But to say, hey, we can be a 3-down team 50% of the time and 4-down team the other 50% of the time. I don't know if I love that. Rather be, a master of one than a jack of all trades. I think you kind of look at it that way.
Thank you. That is Brian Bulaga. You'll hear him coming up next on the Homer Hour from 5 until 6 here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Thank you to Bradley Nortman. Thank you so much to Alex Strofe, and thank you to you, KBN Nation, for holding it down. We'll be back tomorrow bringing the heat here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. The Homer Hour is coming up next.
KBN's the show that never ends.
Well, we got a couple of issues out there. Southbound 43 at westbound 94 in the Marquette. We've got both shoulders blocked with a crash, so watch out for that. We got delays coming in from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way through the Marquette. Technically, it does stay heavy all the way down to the KK River. And then we have another crash on northbound 894 on the ramp from westbound 894 in the Hale. That one's off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that.